wing 7-Up Boogie.
No.
Again.
Oh, have you already seen this one? It's like, how old
Yeah, I
your
think we
girlfriend?
changed it.
He's like, how old your girlfriend? She's like 20. He's like, I don't believe you.
We're gaming. Wait, what?
So I just have this on standby.
Oh, yeah, that's the profile picture I know you by.
What even is that from?
Wait, what?
It's from the
Oh, yeah.
podcast, the lolcow podcast.
Yeah, that's the profile picture. Oh my gosh, I can hear myself. Okay.
Did not know they had a podcast.
Also, we're live.
Oh,
really?
What, really?
Yeah.
There's no starting soon screen.
No, absolutely not.
Huh?
What?
Absolutely not.
Oh, hey.
See,
okay.
I just remember that Azelle was the only one here
No,
when I
it was
mentioned.
just going right now.
Yeah, no, I mentioned to Azelle that one of the bits is that we just start talking about something, and about halfway through the conversation, I'll start. So yeah.
Well, I had this whole bit prepared. I was gonna yell Swishcast, Swishcast, but I was just kind of awkward.
Oh, sorry. Do you want me to? Do you want?
It's far too late now.
Yeah, we're back. Hey guys.
What's going on, guys?
So
we
true.
abandoned our own show, and now we're on this guy's.
We've moved our channel over to one with more subs. All right, to get to
Wouldn't be the first time.
Hey-o!
Oh my
Alright.
gosh. Can you believe it?
But there are only consequences. We have to have our intern just like lacking around in the background. So just don't worry about him. Just ignore him.
Oh, is that me?
Sorry, his little face in the corner. It's our show.
Oh yeah.
Keep pushing up.
If someone, oh my gosh,
We're actually missing 2 employees as well. We don't know what's happening.
if one more person calls me Tyler McVicker, I'm going to lose my mind.
Who said that?
So many people have called me this, and I've never
Banned
known.
instantly.
I don't know who this man
It's
is.
Waylon. Fucking ban him. You're not missing much.
I don't know who this man is. I looked up a pic. Oh, sorry. No, you go first.
Alright, okay. I just want to say, as a first topic for the podcast, can we please address Tyler McVicker's mental state? Like he is.
I don't. I've never. Who is this person?
Do you not know about
Wait,
this?
do you not know who Tyler McVicker is?
I've seen pictures of him because people keep telling me I look like him. But other than that,
News Network.
He's the Val, yeah. He's Val.
Oh, that's why everyone says I look like him.
He's the most reliable
Reliant.
source. Right.
George, I swear there's gonna be an update this year. I'm feeling it in my veins.
I'm an inside source, lads.
I'm holding on for hope. There's gonna be an update, and then there's
Making a news channel for the one video game company that doesn't make games.
That's absolutely
Has
wild.
no news coming out.
When I looked up Tyler McVicker, a picture of Pyrocynical, female Pyrocynical, pulled up. I don't know why.
Maybe they're in cahoots.
Awesome
They're
sauce.
very intertwined.
Are they? Are they? Is this real?
No.
They're
I
very
don't know.
relevant to one
You
another.
and I lie.
But I think we need to address the fact that Tyler McVicker needs help, and we should also.
Why are you?
No, because
He does
He's
need
kind of
help.
right. He's
Tyler-
kind of right.
Tell the story in there when we like checked in on him on his stream.
We like clicked on his Twitch stream and he was playing Open Fortress like on an empty server running in circles and he just kept saying Joe Biden, Joe Biden for like 20 minutes straight.
What?
Alright, yeah,
What?
probably good.
You
What?
need help. You good? Like,
What?
No
Who is
sure
this
motherfucker,
person?
Like genuinely, like how is he all right? He's not well.
Okay, now,
He-
no,
He's
now.
been going to
been
a
going
bit
through
of
it.
mental breakdown since the last summer update.
Chad is now pivoted to saying I look like Dream, and that is undeniably worse.
I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't take
Even
that.
worse.
We're gonna ban.
Little 17.
No! Shut up, dude. Stop. I hate that. Because my name's Lucid. I've been compared to Dream since I like started streaming on Twitch. It's the worst reality. I chose the wrong name.
The point of the mask is.
That's what the point of the mask is.
You got a
Can you
beautiful.
put can you
Sorry.
Little Freeman on screen?
Yeah, put little 17 on screen.
No, I'm
Welcome to-
no. I'm not doing-
Welcome to Little 17.
Welcome.
The intern doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah, the intern's not paying
You have
enough
been
for
chosen or
that.
have chosen to enter the aisle 10.
I think that the gay version of Dream Mask by Dream is better than the.
Oh, I remember that.
Do you guys remember the Spotify Wrapped when Dream shows up and he's like wearing the bisexual shirt? That was awesome.
And he's like, I suck his dick with a
I
smile.
got
for
that
hours at a
personally because
time.
I was in like the top percent.
Of course.
Why
You got
were
that.
you? Why?
No.
Why would you admit to that on camera? Why would you do that? What a horrible thing to admit.
Me when I lie.
Me when I tell untruths.
Not lying. I can tell
There's
you.
only truth in this room.
Sam's got the worst poker face.
I don't trust a single person in the call right now.
Alright,
Papa
what is that?
Sam's
No.
head looked like a
Okay,
mop.
I'm just gonna say this now. The one you really shouldn't trust is Azelle. Azelle's a sneaky fucker because she'll say something and like completely deadpan, and you don't know if she's lying or telling the truth. Like she'll be like, "Oh yeah, my house got robbed the other day," and we're like, "Oh, you all right?" And she'll like play along with it for like a good like 10 minutes, and she'll just be like, "I'm just kidding, guys. My house didn't get robbed."
No, because Azelle doesn't have any like joke. Doesn't have a joking tone. It's just like one time
I'm
she
doing
told
it
me
on
like,
purpose.
"Oh, said like I'm homeless now. I got kicked out my house," and I was like, "Are you good? Like, can I do anything?"
I think that
There was once where like I joined the call from my phone because I was outside. I was getting home, and then I don't remember who joined the call. I think it was Sam. That I said, "Hey Sam, yeah, I got kicked out from home for screaming while playing Fortnite." And then one of you guys, wait, really?
No, we were all like, "Oh really?" Because you said it like so deadly serious.
I think something I want to do one of these days is I want to get a shit ton of TF2 YouTubers. I want to play Mafia with you guys. I think it would be so fun.
Isn't that like a Roblox like game mode?
No, it's not a Roblox game. So people in chat might know what I'm talking about. Mafia it's like what Among Us is based off of. It's a party game where like there's a mafia, there's the town, and the town has to vote off the mafia.
Let's cut out the middleman and just play Among Us.
No, Among Us is
Nice.
bad. Among Us is
Listen, I
bad.
thought-
All right, buddy.
All right,
I'm
buddy.
not.
Um,
I'm not
I'm
taking any of this.
Can we
slander.
fire this guy?
no.
Game of the year 3 times in a row,
it's
and people will still say it's bad.
It's the Michael Jordan of video games. It's going on a six championships.
I thought Among
It's-
Us was based on Trouble in Terrorist Town. Man.
Trouble in Terrorist Town is
Yeah.
also based off Mafia.
That's actually something that would make. I remember I saw there's a server, there's a TF2 server that's still running that has like 0 players. That's running a weird Trouble in Terrorist Town game mode. I found, and it's super well like implemented. There's like you can like pick up people's ragdolls and examine them and everything, but like no one's playing it.
And they got the terrorist detector where you like put them in like the thing. You pull the lever, and he's like, "Guys, he's a terrorist." Guys,
Yeah, no. There are maps on the server that do that. that is a thing, but no one's playing that server, and it's still
Yeah,
running,
that
and I
sounds
don't understand how or why.
Send me it. That sounds good. Actually, I want to get on that.
You should
I'll show it to you guys if you guys want to like set up a thing like that. It'd be really fun to play it.
Not now.
It reminds me of there's that video there's that TF2 iceberg about like obscure maps, community maps. It reminds me of that. That's how I learned about what is it? Oh, the one with the two trains, and you hop on from one train to the other. Someone in chat will know what I'm talking about.
That in the game already.
No, it's Oh gosh,
Different version of it in Halloween.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
No,
like,
it's no. It's not that. Hold on, I'm about to look up TF2 custom maps and to find what I'm looking for.
Do you guys remember Trainsaw Laser?
I do not remember. It's Convoy. Convoy is the one I was thinking of.
I don't know.
Yes, Convoy.
Oh, yeah.
Convoy chat.
That got a Halloween version.
Oh, so that is into the game. So I was.
Yeah, the Halloween version's in the game.
Convoy has a Halloween version. What?
Yeah, and it's like Hell Train.
Yeah, Hell Train. Have you not
I've played Hell Train. I didn't think it was based
Yeah,
off Convoy.
Oh yeah, no, Hell Train is like super modified Convoy.
I played Convoy because it was in TF2 Classic. Do you remember we were on that custom weapons server?
Oh, that was.
I've
Yeah.
not played TF2 Classic. I'm missing out.
By the way, for all my Zane custom weapon fans out there, it's not as good as it seems. It takes about 50 years to get into a fucking game. When they change the maps, you got to do it again. Disaster. It ain't worth the trouble. Anyway,
Takes too long.
Is there like an actual topic in this podcast, or do we just like mount?
No, yeah, we can like actually talk. I was down to just talk about random TF2 custom maps for the next 3 hours until we get to the video.
I'm not down for it, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
I just try to keep things on track. That's what we usually do in our podcast.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so the purpose of today, what we're doing is we are going to be going over one of TF2's most infamous videos. one of the ones that introduced me to TF2 when it came out. So I'm newer. So this was one of the videos that came out when I was getting into TF2, which is Uncle Dane's remove random crits from TF2, which I'm really excited to talk about because I know that a lot of different people have a lot of different opinions on this subject. So I'm really excited to get into it.
I know I do. What about you?
Yeah, before we start though, I thought I would go around the panel and ask everyone. We can go left to right. But what do you guys think about random crits? Like as a concept. Start Azal, you can go.
Yeah, Azal, why don't you just tell us what you
Yeah,
think of
Azal!
random crits? Yeah, everyone's watching, everyone's listening. Why don't you just tell us?
It's like I've got to do a class show and tell, but I didn't bring anything.
Go on.
So I mean, I feel like I'm like the most like in the middle on like the whole random crits thing because I personally like really like random crits. Not because I'm like, oh, it's so fun when I get to kill on other people that I don't have fun when I get killed by it. It's just I still think it's fun to get killed by random crits, but it's because I never take the game too seriously in any way, shape, or form. I think I've just kind of accepted that I will most likely 24/7 die from random stuff that's out of my control. So random crits just kind of feel right in TF2. I couldn't see the game without them.
Really, that's your opinion?
That's your
Try again.
opinion?
Try
No,
again.
okay, well, no, okay.
Yeah.
We are gonna
Basically,
we're gonna let everyone go around, and then we are gonna we're gonna use the video to argue with each other. Okay, that's the point.
Try
Now
again.
I am a talking pillow.
Yeah, no. Indy, you're first, or Indy, you're next. Sorry.
Okay, so when I started playing up until a couple of years ago, I was very much in the random crits discourse. I was very interested in getting them removed, and I was like, it's so unfair, and they're terrible, and don't have them in the game. And you know, as of late, I've gotten this Nirvana Buddha realization, if you will, that I just do not care about them. I love when I get them, and then when I don't get them, I just have to wait 10 seconds to respawn. So it's like, whatever. My opinion of random crits now is just like, I am ambivalent to it. I have no strong opinion.
One way.
I don't know what that word means. I have no strong feelings one way or the other about random crits.
Wonderful.
So that's your opinion.
So
That's
your
my opinion.
So that's your
Hey,
opinion.
buddy.
Hey, wait. Before we continue, hey chat. For the next like.
Yeah, fuck you, Sam.
No. We're gonna get back. We're gonna get back. People in chat. After everyone gives their opinion, could you guys just act outraged, regardless of what the actual opinion was? Thanks.
Aaron, don't call me a fence sitter.
You are done, man. Give that guy some bits, honestly.
Give that guy a prime sub.
Yeah, give him a free sub.
Prime sub to my YouTube channel.
Make that guy a mod right now. He deserves it.
I can spit in facts.
Aaron fucking Findley.
Consider.
Not Sam G. It is your turn.
What? I thought it was mods. Oh wait, no, it's different.
No, it's not.
Bro cannot. Bro can't read.
It says Sam first. Go on.
turn. I tell you that much. I'm fucking. Anyway. Right. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted. Somebody has a fucking Andy and Lele profile picture photo.
Okay, calm down.
Yeah, no, I don't like that game. Random crates. Like, I just get them out of the game. Honestly, there really isn't a point. I know you're like, oh, it's it's a silly game, silly things happen, but like, you can have a silly game and not have complete stupid random bullshit that just like sends you back to the spawn room. Like, yeah, there's not much I have to say. Honestly, the video we're going to watch probably says most of it, and I'm not just being like a bootlicker. I have had those opinions before the video came out. Or wait, actually, was I even playing TF2 when this video came?
Were you born?
I gotta double check.
It came out in 2018.
Oh yeah, then I was. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I had these opinions before the video came out, and I hold the same ones after the video came out. So,
Just so we're clear, to clear things up for the chat room, Sam unironically plays Sea of Thieves. So you can
By
disregard
himself.
everything
By himself.
by himself. So
I-
you can.
Okay, well let's clear things up for the chat. Indy unironically plays Genshin Impact, so
No, I don't. You just pulled that
I'm-
out of your ass.
Let's
You
prove
just-
it. Let's prove it.
Indy is in the
prove it.
top 1% of Dream
Yeah,
listeners
go
on
on, let's prove
Spotify.
it, Indy.
That's true. Sam, you're the one who said you were looking to sleep the trees earlier. I do not want to hear it.
I'm sorry.
Press
I
one in
gave
chat
an
if-
irrefutable fact, and you have made things up. So this is already to a great start. So you're engaging in bad faith, Sam. That is bad faith. That is what we in the debate world call.
And Azel, because Azel likes Weezer's Black Album. So
I also
Yeah.
like
Hey, it's a
Weezer's Black
great
Album.
album.
lads,
Yes. Let's
no,
go.
intent for me to be.
There'll be no user discourse in the podcast, Sam.
Okay,
It's
I'm
gonna
sorry.
break out. All hell will break loose.
the intent for me to, or the happiness of me being on this podcast is diminishing by the minute. I'm hearing
He'd
you're like
rather be on
Black
Sea of
Album.
Thieves by himself.
Hey, I
Yeah, I will.
I-
I will.
wait,
I'll make
wait.
it.
wait. I'd like to
Give
clarify.
me the talking pillow.
I'd like to clarify. I like Weezer's Black Album. I don't think it's great. I like it.
Okay.
I like
Oh
it.
my fucking
No,
God.
no, wait. It's also the only Weezer album I've actually listened to.
Wait. Well, you've got to listen to the rest.
Lucid, you have to do things to keep people
That is the worst
watching your
one.
stream.
It's the worst
What?
one.
Okay,
There's definitely
I know,
worse
I
Weezer
know.
albums.
Please explain why it's the only one. I know it's a
Because
How did that
no,
happen?
because I started listening to music seriously in 2018, and that album came out. That's my genuine answer.
That's like if you
Competitive
like.
music
that's-
listener.
That's like if you play TF2, but you only play for that 1 week of Meet Your Match when none of the servers work. And you never played again.
Exactly, it's the best time to play for the first like 6 months of me playing TF2. I only played against bots, and I did not play against like real people. And I don't mean like sniper bots. I mean like I went to offline TF2 where you pull up a match of like King of the Hill against the in-game bots, and that's what I did.
When I started
No,
playing in 2013, I accidentally hit the Wi-Fi switch on my laptop, so I just didn't have internet, and I just thought, oh yeah, we just don't have internet in my house, that's fine. So I just played with bots for the first year.
That's what we're saying. That's what I'm saying.
I played with bots, but only for like the first week, I think.
And then he went on back on Sea of Thieves.
No, and then I just got too good for bots, and then I got too good for lobbies, and that's why I don't play TF2 anymore.
So true. So true.
I just
Yes.
played with myself.
Yes. Let's go, guys. Press
I-
one in
I-
chat. Press one in chat if you play with yourself.
Alright,
I'm the way I play TF2 is I start an empty server, and then I just say, wow, this is so liminal, guys. Then
That's so true.
Shut
disconnect.
up.
I
You just kind of no clip around the whole map, and you're like, "Oh wow, hey, this is like the back rooms."
This is
This
the
is
back
just
rooms
like
of
the
gaming.
back room.
No, what I do, I play the USSR anthem really loud over the voice chat. Everybody thinks I'm so hilarious, man. They all love me. And then I
Classic bit that the whole game loves.
Everyone.
and then I kill bind.
That's really funny.
And my nickname is Dr. Sex.
That's really
Oh,
funny.
I'm
man, when you're on
I'm the
2-4
funniest person in the server.
When you're on 2-4 and someone comes up to you and then they do the laughing taunt, that they kill bind right after, and you look at them and then you kill bind too. That there is nothing funnier than that. I love doing that 50 times a day. That's all I ever do.
Boys, look,
keep those-
putting porn on my sign and hitting people with it.
You know, playing the
another
game.
ingredient for the Soundsmith meatloaf.
Playing the game is really hard. Pressing kill bind is really easy, and it's funny. We should all do it.
Let's have a monthly meatloaf.
Let's have a discussion whether kill binding is actually funny or not.
Okay, right, guys. Can we get a poll in chat? Which is the most annoying thing to be killed by? Them saying thanks after you die, them taunting, or them putting a fucking bind in chat? Which one out of those three? Right, let's decide.
Saying thanks after a kill, it just like pisses me off. It's like it makes my like blood boil.
Okay, I think I've said this before. I know we're going very off topic. I say thanks after kills. It's not as like a I'm so fucking let me finish party. Let me finish.
Yapping
All
on
right.
too
I've got the
long.
talking pillow.
No, I should have it. You've been yapping on for ages.
Right,
Right?
it's
Stop.
genuinely. I don't know why I start doing it, but it's genuinely just reflex now. Every time I get a kill, it's just Z2, Z2. Like I don't do it to be.
Why? It's
Bros,
not
I
don't
funny.
do
It's
it.
not.
I don't do it. It's just reflex. It just like stretches my hand. It keeps my hands warm.
Bro's programmed to be a cunt. I get it. Right?
Stretches his hand. It's like the most physical activity you do in a day.
I play
the Z2.
I play TF2 muted, and I'm usually watching a video at the same time, so I do not notice when any of these things happen.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. When you said that, I'm just imagining like
Alright.
one screen of TF2 and one screen like Family Guy funny moments, like
That's me.
GTA cars.
That's me. That's
Shit,
literally
yo.
what I'm doing.
Fuck.
That's me. But also,
I used to do that as well. Like I just mute TF2 and just put a different song or a video in
Yes.
the background, and like it's like serene. You don't like you're not bothered by anything that happens in the game.
It wasn't started with TikTok, guys. We've been doing
we've
it
been
before
doing
that
it.
shit.
Yeah.
One time I was playing Subway Surfers while playing 2 Fort one-handed, and then the moment of realization struck, and I was like, "What the hell am I doing?"
Playing Clash Royale while wanking and walking my dog.
That's
In public? Okay, wait. Okay. We gotta get back on track. We still have Party still give Party the talking pillow, Sam. We need
I
to...
have the talking pillow now.
Party, what are your thoughts on random crits?
Who cares?
Who-
My
who-
God.
Shut up, India! I hate you. Right, here's my opinion. Okay, we all wake up on 2 different sides in the morning. So if I'm getting killed by random crits, I hate them on the left side. But if I'm killing people with random crits, I wake up I'm on the right side. So depends what type of day you catch me on. Depending on how I feel, that's about it, really.
I feel like you could have given that answer in reference to anything. Like I could have been like, "Hey, Party, what's your opinion on the death penalty?" And you've been like, "Well, some days I wake up on 2 sides in the morning." And
Well, yeah, no. If I'm the one, being killed, then probably I'm probably not gonna like it, am I?
Yeah, no, that's true. If I wake up in the prison cell, that might change my opinion on the matter.
If I'm like death row, then probably not a big fan. But
Yeah.
if it's like some Nika, if it's some
man.
like pedophile getting killed, then I love it.
All right, I'm stealing the talking pillow back. It's my turn. I am bad enough at the game to where random crits feel like something that happens to me, and I often do not recognize when I die to a random crit versus when I would not have died if a random crit had not happened. Sometimes I do, and when that happens, it is annoying. I think that principally, it's probably not a good idea for them to be in the game, but like emotionally, they don't bother me that much. That's my statement. So I'm like a more developed fence sitter.
So we're all a bit neutral, except Sam, which is a big yapper. I
Well,
don't
no.
even know what his opinion was.
Like
He's a yappinator.
well, no, like okay, so like Indy has the fence up his ass, but I have the fence.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I have the no. Wait. I have the listen. I have the fence up my ass, but I'm also drinking tea at the same time. That's the difference.
What?
That's it. We both have the fence up their ass, but
Jack,
I'm
can
more
we kill this
sophisticated.
guy?
No, bro. If there's no me, there's no podcast. What are we doing?
It didn't let me. I
You
wanted
can't
to
kick
put,
me.
I wanted to put "Can we kill this guy" in chat, and then it give me a warning.
Can we kill bind this guy?
Indy's funny little message is nice time for me to mention my shill. It's time to shill myself. Guys, if you want to ask the panel a question, all of the questions that are asked in super chats or donations will be answered at the end of stream. So yeah, do that. If you want to ask questions to the panel, we'll answer all of them at the end of stream. Cool.
If you want to send me money because I want money, then
Yes.
check out use my link givememoney.com/party.
Hold on, let me put that in chat.
Patreon.com/Zenith.
Send me money there. Goes directly to me. It's going directly to a good cause.
There you go, chat.
Alright.
Give
Okay.
me money.com/party.
We're buying you that website.
Yeah. Can we please get that domain?
GiveMeMoney.com. That'd be a real website.
It needs to redirect to like your Patreon or something. That would be amazing.
Yeah, my Patreon. my great.
All right. Are we ready to actually start the topic of the video?
Yeah, that's what
I'm down.
Can I just plug my Patreon in the chat?
Yeah, sure. Unironically, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's start.
Everyone, don't send him money. Send him men.
What's this? Hey, what's this link? Is it gonna give me a virus?
Yes. I'm just putting back the watch together thing.
Oh,
'Cause, I don't think everybody's in it.
It doesn't even work. It don't work.
Does it work?
No.
The one you sent doesn't work. The one sent
Gave
before.
our
there
money
you
to
go.
Zenny.
Nice. Okay.
User.
Are
Username.
we good to start?
Why are you user nudify?
Because I'm Nudify. Let's go.
All right, let's go. Let's do it.
Just screen share.
you
What
guys-
the fuck is this website?
Well, no. It's so this website's
Watch together. You can watch everything together.
we're using this so I can keep the overlay because if we screen share the overlay gets messed up.
Oh, okay.
And also
Yeah.
it means that everyone can pause it. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
That's
I'll make sure to frequently.
Yeah. Right, stop. All right, hang on.
No, we're not doing this, please. No, I don't. Can we?
Then you get filled so fast if we
Dispenser
pause
going
every
up.
frame.
I gotta take that power away from party.
Right, guys, stop.
Alright.
Let's just
Well,
analyze what's just happened here.
No! Uncle Dane is dead!
Medic!
No! No! It's over!
People, chat. I know the video.
Chat saying video too loud.
Chat. I'm aware
Chat,
the
is
video
this
is too
real?
loud.
Did he
that's
actually
why I
die?
paused it.
Chat, is he okay?
If you see in the back, Uncle Dane
Has
is a
merch.
huge fucking sellout.
Epic Easter egg.
Hey, there's stuff in the back.
Oh, that's so offensive.
Randomness has been a core part of game design since forever. From rolling dice to drawing a card, having a certain amount of random chance involved often has the effect of making games that much more exciting. But when it comes to PvP games, introducing random elements can easily become a slippery slope towards imbalance and blurs the line between what is fun and what is fair.
That's fun.
Does anyone does
That is
anyone
fun.
does anyone
That is
disagree?
Yeah.
That is fun.
I
don't-
That,
No.
I think it's just a fact. So it's just been facts so far. That is true.
I was gonna ask. Do you think something could be fun and unfair?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
In
absolutely.
certain situations, yeah.
It's
but,
usually fun for the person who has the
Like-
advantage. Like,
Yeah.
Fair point.
I think something that like is like covered throughout the entire video is just like how like random crits is just like is more of an RPG kind of thing that's just put into an FPS in this case. So like that's why it doesn't really work. But like any like Dungeons and Dragons or other RPG that has random crits, like it's unfair, but it's really fun. Even like if you're doing like a multiplayer thing with other people, because like that it's if everything relies on randomness, then it makes sense. But with TF2, there's too much stuff that's like skill as well. That is it's the whole reason why there's a debate around this.
it's because of it's just because of like the game being multiplayer. That's what makes it like controversial.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because there's a point he makes about Pokemon later in the video that I'll touch upon more then. But like I
Mm.
think that's because if you ever played that, the random crits in those games, it's like especially
Yeah.
if you're playing online, it's just like
Oh
it's
yeah.
like it could either be the worst or the
Yeah.
best.
The random
yeah.
crits
Oh,
and
he
the
did-
random crits in Pokemon suck.
They're good in the they're like good in like they're fine in like the campaign, but it's
Yeah.
like when you go online, it's like it literally just like it just makes or breaks a fucking game.
I agree.
Some of the games, like
Especially turn-based games when you like get a crit done to you and then you watch your health like slowly just drain and drain. You just kind of stare there. You're in the cuck chair of life. You're just watching your health go away. That's annoying. At least with TF2, you just die instantly and then you just hit your monitor.
But yeah, I was just pointing out.
Fortress 2.
I was just pointing out. I think this might be a bit of a weird dichotomy to be like some things can be fun, but then some things can be fair. And it's like I think things could be fun and unfair, or fair and not fun.
I think it's just a It's cognitive dissonance. I think that's the word for it.
Ooh.
You're such a
Big
fucking
word
idiot.
alert! Oh,
So
smarty
smart.
pants alert!
So smart, Sam.
Hey, ladies, you ever heard cognitive dissonance?
Same guy listens to Dream, so the ladies better be
I don't
fucking
listen to Dream. I listen to Blur.
I believe it is possible to strike a balance here. You can create a system where the player doesn't feel cheated out of something when they lose, or you can just base your
show
entire
fucking
game around
mobile
random
games,
chance
man.
and then have
Oh,
pre-existing
fucking
expectations.
Hearthstone.
Yeah, no one's playing this shit, man. Sorry.
No
This
one
is-
plays these games.
No one is playing this.
If you play this, you hate
I've
yourself.
played Hearthstone. I've played Hearthstone before. I get it. It's not for everyone. With
doesn't
Hearthstone,
have
at
a
least it
little
makes sense. It's
fun
like
for
everything. It's got a lot of randomness into it. It's like you've got stuff works, like random stuff works in Hearthstone because it's built around it a bit more.
So I've heard. I wish that my co-host was here. R.I.P. I wish because he has a vested interest in Hearthstone, so he'd probably have more to say than I do. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't played League or Hearthstone.
I'd be bullying him right now. I'm sorry.
Party is a bully.
He'd probably be bullying you back.
To occasionally lose to getting unlucky. But when you have this middle ground where random chance elements conflict with a clearer focus on mechanical skill, it becomes misleading, confusing, and just downright ridiculous. And this is exactly how I would describe a decade-long mechanic in TF2 called random critical hits. Misleading, confusing, ridiculous. Now, as many others have in the past, there are a lot of different ways that you can approach this topic. I'm certainly not the first person to call into question.
That's crazy. I was looking for other videos about this topic and could not find like any after this video was made. This video kind of like killed all discussion.
Shut the book.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good thing. Because you can't really refute it, like, because I agree with this video, so you can't really refute any of the points in it.
I think you can, Sam, but I don't think it's completely.
I don't think it's airtight,
blind
no.
bad.
In my opinion, TF2 is always going to have these like this cycle of circle jerks. You know, back if it was random crits, now we're in the art style circle jerk for a little while.
Yeah,
that's
that's
all we're
true.
going to be talking
Yeah.
about for a little bit.
Yeah.
Until we move on to something else.
I did look up some stuff before this. I did find like not a lot, but like 2 or 3 videos that are pretty good that came out that still talk about random crits.
I saw a Lister's video about
Yeah,
why
that one
they're
too.
there. I thought
Oh, that was a great video.
I thought that video was good because it was less about like whether they should or exist, but more like why conceptually they do,
Yeah.
which isn't something
Rare high moment.
this video doesn't really touch on that as much. It kind of mentions it, but it's not about that really.
Like Lister's video like really does like show like why they're there, and it all just makes more sense as to like, why they work the way they do, like stuff like that. But
One pro I do have this
I'll
video.
bring that later because I've got some gripes with this video about like how there's no like proposal of like another alternative to just removing them.
He talks about that later, but I mean we should probably get to that later. But he does say something like, "Oh, well, they're like, oh, why don't we just have like a middle ground?" And he was like, "No, the only way is to get rid of them completely." And it's like, I think a problem I have with this video is that he doesn't really raise all the points he kind of picks are like comes from just like the most like lukewarm, like not really like strong points. Like if you pick, because there are strong points for why they're in the game, like they're fun, they're fun. They add to TF2's like crazy random nature. They do actually have rare moments, clips. It makes every game seem like it's gonna be different. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like,
well,
there are good reasons for them being in the game.
Well, we will get there. I think that the argument I would lean on most heavily if I were trying to steel man random crits being in the game is that they are only in a version of the game where competition is not the focal point. That would be my main argument if I were doing this. But I don't know how strong that argument would be because he's going to argue against it. We'll get there.
the merits of the existence of random crits in TF2 before. And I could just sit here and rant about how they're not fair, how they're not balanced, and just talk about how much I despise them. But I intend to approach this long overdue dissertation on why random crits should be removed from TF2 by approaching it from the opposite side of my own. So, I've been a hardcore participant of the TF2 community for over 5 years now. Up until now, I've read just about every random crits discussion on Reddit, Steam, Discord, Facepunch, and the in-game chat that could ever exist. I've seen countless...
How? I know what he means, but how could you ever find every single random crit argument that's ever been made in the chat of a game?
He's obviously just exaggerating.
Yeah.
He's fucking about
No, clearly he's gone into every single. He's queued for every map, every server. He's asked everyone.
He's asked every single
He's
TF2
gathered
player
them all.
individually. I wish
That
he
was
had.
the most annoying person of all time, just going into every server.
Guys, what do you think
Like,
about
what do you
it?
think of
Single
random
Guys,
crits?
guys, please
Single
answer.
person.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking like one of those TikTokers who just put their mic up to you and they're like, "So what do you think about the random crits in the game?"
Leave me alone, bro.
I need to go to the bathroom.
You gotta choose something. I refuse to answer. I reject your question.
Yeah.
Your question.
I-
Please answer. It's always something stupid like it's like fix economic crisis or women's rights.
I would
Please
actually.
answer.
I would actually love to do one of those like TikTok segments where I ask people like on the street questions like, so what do you think about the babyface blasters nerfs, like with no context?
Who are you?
What is it? Just be like,
Hello,
what-
what are you talking about?
What do any of those words mean?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
I would
Hello?
love to see that. Oh my gosh. El Maxo went on the
That'd be
street
really fun.
to do his one of his videos about the
Lolly chop.
yeah, he needs to do that. That's what he needs to do.
I
He's
think,
just
I think you get arrested.
I remember when we spoke to him, he said one person recognized him and then did like a triple take in front of him until they realized who they were speaking to.
that's amazing.
Then we talked about
I would do the same because like, why would he do a real life segment for a TF2 video? That's like not something people do that much anymore ever.
TF2 players are, notorious for social interaction, especially in person. So
especially in game,
Definitely.
especially with the voice chat feature.
yeah.
Very, very, very humble chat of conversations you'll have on there.
Yeah, all the time.
Well, our experiences are different with that because we're in Europe.
Mm.
Yeah, I was gonna
European
say.
players just hate conversation. They are antisocial.
It's either slurs or like nothing.
No, the voice chat is only reserved for calling someone a slur in European servers. There is no discussion to be had in those. I was gonna ask, have you actually in an American server seen anyone like actually have a discussion about anything?
I live in Japan.
Well, across the pond, it is
Yeah.
after there.
No, the voice chat's almost never used, and when it is used, it's used for like its intended purpose, from what I can tell. Because that's that's how it do be. It like TF2 isn't super common in Japan, and when it is common, the people who play it are typically pretty respectful. The culture.
Yeah.
The culture does not carry over from American and EU places to Japan, from what I could tell.
I remember one time I was like, medic, can you please heal me? Please heal me. Like I was on 1 health and some guy said, this dude does not shut up. And then I got kicked.
That's crazy. I've never had that experience just because I've been on the other side of
I've been kicked
planet.
multiple times just for speaking.
I swear to God, like over like months of playing the game, I think like over like 2 months, some of the only like voice chat stuff I heard when I've not been playing with Indy has been like kick bot kick, and that's it.
I see TF2 as a chat room with guns. I think Chet Falisak, he's a former writer at Valve. He made a video yesterday. I don't know if you guys have seen that, where he talks about how...
I saw that.
Where he talks about how TF2 really doesn't have that same charm anymore, and especially because of like queuing and whatever else. I think TF2 like leaned too much towards competitive. Like it's supposed to be just like he's described it as a chat room with guns, where you just kind of talk to other people while just like blasting people.
That's
Yeah.
such a good way.
That is a really good way to describe TF2.
Genuinely, yeah. Well, I think I think Uncle Dane. I don't think he like Like I think he made one video on his second channel where he goes on community servers and he just takes the piss out of them. But like community servers are just basically like chat rooms with guns. They literally are just like people where you meet, talk, have a great time, you know, and like have fun. And like random crits kind of add to that. They add to that like fucking lads' night energy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially,
like,
I think, and in my opinion, let me get off the fence here because my butt's getting sore. I think if Meet Your Match removed random crits permanently from casual, then TF2 would be much worse off than it is right now. That's my opinion.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I don't know. That's interesting.
I think I should play the video because we're only a minute in. He's barely even said anything yet.
I wanted to. Okay, so I wanted to clarify someone in chat. The purpose of me asking, I was making fun of the fact that he phrased it as if he did actually go to every single server and ask every single person. I was not making fun of the fact that he did research. That was not the point of why I paused. Just it's clear. Research is good. I think we're all pro research here. I think we're a pro research podcast.
How can you be against research? Like,
no, I'm anti-research.
Anti-research. Do no research.
No one will research. Research is not allowed.
I hate facts.
I hate facts. No less.
I don't think you can make a TF2 video with like no research at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you just like.
I was gonna say
I've seen some fucking bad ones.
I've seen some videos.
No. Because the thing is, like, there will be bad research as well.
Yeah.
Like there can be bad research and plagiarism. Like they have to at least search the thing they plagiarized as well with that. So there's always like an extent of research out there.
Do you count playing the game as research? Because if you do, then I agree.
I think if you're playing the game with like an observing eye, then maybe.
Because I was going to say, I know a lot of TF2 videos. I could think of one recently that we may or may not cover on this next week, where it's like it was just someone basically saying things that they felt into a microphone, basically unscripted, about like the state of TF2, and without like elaborating really on why or without any sort of evidence. They just kind of said it like it was true. It was a very strange video, and I'm not going to say who it was in case we do cover it, but yeah, it was I think that people do just sometimes just go into their YouTube webcam and just say things for a really long time without actually validating any of it.
I think the whole point of people making a channel is just a way to express their opinions.
No, for sure, but I don't think research is necessary.
Yeah. All right, let's play the video. We're only like a minute in. We've yapping on. Right, come on.
Welcome to the podcast.
Polls participated in by every sub-community in the TF2 community sphere, including my own nieces and nephews right here on YouTube. As you can see, the obvious answer is never quite clear, but by now I think I have heard it all. In order to formulate my argument against random crits in TF2, I'm going to represent a hypothetical debate with this picture of a scout, who will represent the most common reason.
Right, hang on, I'm only for a quick second. This fucking scout is like, he's rigged the entire video.
He's rigged.
Like devil's advocate, but the points he raises aren't even that good. So it's like if he just raised better points, I think it would make for a better video.
It's because he wanted to like he didn't want to have like the devil's advocate side be too much like, I don't know. I think it is a bit. It is. We've been saying that a lot today. Fence sitting.
Yeah.
He wanted to epically own the liberals. That's what he wanted to do. So make their points seem worse.
No, but like,
man, TF2 is so woke.
Oh my gosh.
like, you can't really do this till the end of the video, but like, what? Well, bring it up at once we finish the video. But what, like, when we finish the video, what points hasn't he gone over that you think should have gone in the video? Because I think, like, I don't see many points for like, what other points could you really bring up or that he hasn't in the video?
I just think he likes the way Uncle Dane sees TF2. He's as like a competitive shooting experience like Overwatch or like Paladins or some shit, when I think TF2 is more than that, and that's basically the reason why TF2 is like so popular to this day, because it has that community element. But he just seems to forget that exists and just thinks of TF2 as like a shooting gun game, like purely mechanical. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he doesn't really.
He doesn't open the video.
He doesn't ever really establish what. at least not to my recollection, maybe I'm wrong, but he doesn't seem to establish what he thinks TF2 should be accomplishing, which would be, I think, fundamental in order to make this argument against random crits.
Yeah.
Because if TF2 is just accomplishing like fun or silliness and isn't supposed to be competitive at all, then none of these arguments, like the scout is just right, I think. But if TF2 is trying to be more competitive or skill based, then yeah.
Oh, you know how well that went.
Yeah, it's
game. Now, I'm just going to present all of the worst arguments and leave out the ones that are actually decent in order to make my own opinions look better, but don't worry. As an ambassador of true fairness, I am not going to do that. In fact, let's start this debate with a point that I actually don't have any disagreements with.
Scout behind you.
Oh my god. It feels awesome to get a random crit. Right out the gate, I think this is hands down the best case for random crits, but it's an unfortunate case because while I believe that there is a truth to the observation that most people can get a certain amount of pleasure from scoring a kill that they know they didn't deserve or clutching an unfortunate situation with a stroke of luck, you have to keep in mind that this is also the only good argument for random crits that is completely subjective. But basically, yeah.
Good argument.
I wouldn't say this is the only good argument, and I don't think
it's subjective.
It's not subjective. I think everyone could agree that getting a random crit feels good.
Paddy, you said it's not the only good argument, but that was like your main argument against it.
It is.
No,
it is probably the main.
That's the main point. Okay, so
okay, well then, what would you say is the best?
I didn't say it was the best. I just said it was the main argument.
Well, you just
So what would you
said it wasn't 2 seconds ago.
What would be a main argument for you?
I say it was the Right, the point. I said it's not the only good argument. That's what I mean. Do you know what I mean?
So I said what are some other ones?
It's probably the main point is that random crits are fun to get. Yes, but there's more than that. You know, there's more arguments than that. You know what I mean? Like it isn't just like that.
Yeah, I don't think this is the only good argument.
You just said it after he said that that's probably the best one, and then you said, no, he said that's probably the main argument, and you said no, that's not the main argument, but now you're saying it is the main argument.
I think
what I mean is that it's not the only point that you can make about random crits.
Uncle Dane said this is the only good argument for random crits, and then said it's a subjective one. And I think we all basically immediately went, well, it's not the only good argument, and also it's not entirely subjective. I think this is I was gonna say,
if you're a person who gets a kill with a random crit, then you put in chat, "Sorry for the crit, you're a massive puff." I'm like, I hate you. You're
I was.
I'll just unplug my headphones accidentally. Hold on.
Oh, bye.
Nice.
Adios.
It's like they're still here.
No, you said.
My headphones do that from time to time.
I think we need to watch more of the video before pausing because we get 2 seconds in and then we just say something.
Hey, we went a minute without saying anything. I think we could. We can.
I think we're putting all our cards on the table a bit early.
We can wait till these. If you want, we can.
Come on, guys. This is supposed to be a 6-hour episode.
Keep in mind, I don't disagree with this video, but I don't really agree with it either. It's kind of I feel like random crits have their place in some places, it doesn't in other places. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of it.
Well,
I
was just gonna say, I think that I don't think that saying it feels awesome to get a random quit is the argument I would make. I think the correct argument would be random quit crits maintain a player's enjoyment for longer periods of time. I think that'd be the more good faith way to make this argument.
You also, it's kind of weird because they also remove people's enjoyment. I guess it's I feel like random crits just kind of they just add that sense that each game is different and unique. You can have a really shit game of TF2, you can have a really good game of TF2, and random crits kind of add to that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, it's not like Overwatch where every game feels the fucking same, even if you're winning or losing. I'm sorry.
Now that you brought up Overwatch in TF2, you can't really lab out a casual match, if that makes sense. Yeah. You can't lab out a casual match, but in stuff like Overwatch, if you just learn where to stand, learn what to do, learn all the combos and whatever, you can always, even in quick play, you can always kind of predict what's going to happen and consistently win. Where I feel in a 12v12 free for all team deathmatch, whatever, it's not as much, especially with crits in the mix.
I think that this is just not a good portrayal of the argument. I don't think this is a fair portrayal of the argument. That's my opinion. But
Getting a random.
we'll see. Maybe he does. Maybe he.
I don't think it's.
Maybe
It's like it's such a weird thing. This fucking topic. 'Cause it's like in some ways I agree, in some ways I don't agree. All right.
Well, hey, everything's nuanced. We are going to get through it. I'm sure. It might be 6 hours, but hey, we'll get there.
Crit feels awesome. Slamming some poor soul with 300 damage right as they round the corner gives you a dopamine hit that all video games rely on to keep you playing, and most people don't give a shit if the other person didn't appreciate dying for no reason. I got a kill, that guy sucks, get owned, idiot. But at what cost does your selfish quest for more free kills come with? I mean, there is an obvious imbalance of enjoyment happening here. Let's compare.
Wonderful to say that. Wonderful he said that, like, oh yeah, I agree with this wholeheartedly. And it was like, but, however, have you considered that other people might be having a bad time? Like, when I kill someone in a video game, they might be sad. Have any of you guys thought about that?
Yeah, but it's like
things like as an argument for random crits, I don't think it works that well, because it's like the same goes for any time I kill someone else, whether it was random or not.
Yeah, I was
This
gonna
is
say,
why I
deserved
let
or
everyone
not.
kill me, because I don't want to diminish anyone's enjoyment
especially-
of the game.
I must not kill anyone because they might be feel
there's like
bad
a case.
about it.
It's like games like in games like TF2. In games like TF2, you die so quickly most of the time that you don't get to have like this feeling that you had like a good tense like fair fight with the other person most of the time, unless you're like doing a pyro 1v1 or a scout 1v1, because that takes like forever most of the time. But yeah, you die so quickly in the game that you don't get that feeling that it was a fair, fun fight.
Yeah, I think that feeling though isn't. I think that feeling might exist regardless of random crits is my thing. I think there are many times in TF2 where you round a corner to someone and you die instantly regardless of a random crit because the other person was just in a better position than you. And I don't know if I would say that that's a bad thing inherently.
Yeah.
The thing is with this, like, it's like when you die in TF2, you just respawn. I think it can be frustrating. I think the joy of getting a massive fat mega crit overrides the rage of dying once. I think that is better than the disappointment you get dying once. I mean, I think the best argument in this video is one that he makes later, is about new players, where it's like when they because how the random crits work is there. It's like you get more of them when you're doing well, which kind of like punishes new players, and I think that's probably the best argument you can make against removing them from casual.
I have a.
We'll get to that
sorry.
later.
I have an interesting question, not for both the chat and for you guys. Is a multiplayer game? Does a multiplayer game have to be fair?
No.
No.
And you like the
Or is
most
it
popular games are like party games, like it's fucking coming to mind, like Fall Guys. I don't think that game's fair, but it went massively popular in it.
I'll rephrase. Is it better for a multiplayer game to be fair?
So if a game is just unfair every time, then
Well, I feel like you can't really group like if it's something like a shooter, I think it should be more, it should be fairer than it is unfair. But if it's something like a party game, it is still a multiplayer game, but like I'm not gonna give a shit if I draw a fucking +4 on Uno online or something, so it's I know I know we're all fucking shoving our asses on the fence today, but for that I'm just gonna
Okay, here's my opinion on that. I think that inherently randomness is like the spice of a multiplayer game. So a multiplayer game can be very fair. I think TF2 TF2 without crits or random spread is like pretty fair, I'd say. But then by adding random crits, which keep in mind random crits like don't happen all of the time. When you watch this video, you get like an impression that every other shot you shoot is a random crit, which it's not his fault. He has to have footage of random crits in the background. But when you're actually playing the game, you might get a random crit kill like maybe 5 times per match, like at most, and then you might get killed a couple times via crits
Yeah.
per match, and I
Yeah,
think that's
true.
fine.
That's
Yeah,
really true.
I would argue that like rolling double sixes in Mario Party is the Mario Party equivalent to TF2's random crits. And
Mario Party is just random crits of the game, so I don't know.
well, no,
It's
I'm
like, you know,
saying
No,
like
Mario Party
isn't
is
badly
rolling
designed though.
dice. The game.
Well,
like-
Mario Party
literally,
isn't
yeah.
badly designed though. Like most people would not say
No,
Mario
it's-
Party has bad game design because there's randomness in it.
If
And
you
it's
talk about that
yeah.
one where they're in the car, then yes, it is badly designed.
well, yeah, no, we're not. Okay, the good Mario Party games. Okay, all of the ones before the car. That's the ones I'm talking about.
Fucking stupid car. Who thought that was a
It
good
really
idea?
depends from game to game. Most of if you're trying to make like a multiplayer like PvP experience, then yeah, it's better to have like elements of fairness. It's like you gotta have like you gotta have like a fair base and then like add unfair stuff on top of it. Like most like that's kind of what they tried to do with TF2's random crits, but because like you've got the base game without random crits and without some other elements that make things fair, but the random crits, like I'm going from Lister's video again because it's a good video. Like Valve intended to add them as like a silent way to have like momentum carried, like from within the teams when they're doing good.
Yeah.
But like stuff like that doesn't really work that well for TF2 because it's a class shooter that already has other weapons like Vlog,
For the record,
Uber, and all of that
I don't-
help with the momentum.
I don't think that the goal of random crits was accomplished by random crits, but I don't think that random crits.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to actually come around on the idea of random crits the more I think about it because someone in chat said that comparing Mario Party to TF2 is unfair because they're two different genres, and I was like, well, no, they're both multiplayer games, and it's we're talking about casual TF2 specifically, so you can't make the argument that it's about competition. If the games are multiplayer games, I don't think randomness is inherently or unfairness in any way is just inherently bad.
I have a
Yeah,
better
but
comparison we can make. I've got better-
the intention of we're coming back to intention here now. The intention you have with Mario Party and the intention you have with TF2 are completely different. Like, I think Mario Party, like, this isn't an unpopular opinion. I don't think people are. Even if you want to take TF2 as a sillier type of game, people are still gonna majority of people are still gonna take it more seriously than they do around with Mario Party. Now I'm sure there's that one fucking Mario Party enthusiast who's like, you know, how dare you?
There's
worst-
there
worst-
look there's
Worst
some
motherfucker at parties. Never invite him again.
Yeah, don't let him in the door. Don't
Aye,
let him
we
in the door.
evenly
There-
share the weed between everyone.
there's
There's
some really good-
guy that, like you're playing like a Wii tennis and he pulls up like the Wii like add-on for the Wiimote.
Yeah.
Like, it's, like, a tennis
with the
racket.
racket on it.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
I think
He shows
I
up
think-
like fully dressed in like tennis attire. He's like, "Well, gentlemen," quits his like, tennis
I-
racket.
I was gonna.
He's the guy who actually like puts on the safety strap.
I
No, you go. Sorry.
okay, I've been meaning to say this, but like, I think a better comparison you can. I see what you're trying to say of like randomness, but like I think a better comparison you can make is like think of all the modern like fucking battle royale games with like looting and shit.
No, that's
so
another good
90%
example.
of the time you're gonna have the loot. What you're gonna have is random. Someone's just gonna have a better gun than you, or they might not. But I think a guy with common grey loot is still gonna beat a guy with golden fucking whatever, golden rocket launcher.
That's inspirational.
If he's better, you know what I mean?
Well,
That
yeah.
is inspirational.
Well,
If he's
yeah,
better
but
than
is that a point towards or against random?
No,
crits?
so think of it this way, right? So if you say, "Oh, random crits make games completely unfair," that's not true. Like the better player, the better team is still gonna win regardless of random crits. So they don't.
No,
like,
okay,
completely
no.
impact the game.
I'm hard disagreeing there because
Right.
okay, Fortnite for example. I'm assuming that's like the thing. If
Such
you're
a good game.
using gray weapons versus somebody who has blue, purple, even gold, okay, if you play the game right, okay, you're still doing a lot of damage. You're taking like slightly more. You're taking slightly more and you're doing slightly less. But so there is still a disadvantage on your side, but it's not triple the damage coming towards you in a rocket that's a splash radius. Like, I don't think.
Yeah, but think of it this way. Think of it this way, Sam. Right? In Fortnite, in one game of Fortnite, you die once, the game's over. Or you actually get like revved. In TF2, you're gonna die about 50 times. So the damage is gonna be higher. If that makes sense.
No, that made not what?
So okay, so if you die once in Fortnite, the game is over. All right, so that death is really important. But if you die once in TF2, that's not going to make much of a difference. So if you die once to a random crit in like 5 minutes, the game is the better team is still going to win. Do you know what I mean?
Well, no, because I'd argue that like one death can still be really detrimental if it's a medic. Like
it's 60s maybe. Like I don't know if it's a 12 game, probably not.
Like
Abugi in the chat, I agree with you.
I do agree that I do agree.
The fact that we're comparing Fortnite to TF2 unironically means we should continue playing the
yeah, probably. Let's carry on.
Also,
the whole point I wanted to make with that is that the reason why those games are popular has to do with luck. So I think luck does add a bit of fun and interest in a game. Like TF2, I think TF2 would be less interesting without random crits.
I'm not.
But I do agree that with Sam though that no matter how many players there can be in the game and all that, one death can change a lot of TF2 stuff because that's one less player who's also got random outcomes that are just thrown away all of a sudden.
But it's not massively detrimental. It's
Party, I'll add this. Okay, how many games of TF2 do you play where the whole team is full of really good players carrying their team? Not many. So when it comes down to it, it's more like a 12v12 or even a 6v6 game. Or not 12v12, wait, 12v... No, sorry. It's more like a 6v6 game. Because most people down the bottom of the leaderboard, they're not going to be doing much. They're probably going to be
so if they die to a random crit, it's not going to make much of a difference, is it?
Yeah, but it's going to make a difference to the big players.
The ones that are really
random crit on a guy who's sweeping, and then we might be able to push one extra point, but I think still whoever has the better players is most likely to win. I mean, I guess it's possible that there's a game where we all just randomly get more crits, and then we manage to, or we get crits all the right moments, and then we somehow defy the odds and win the game. But that's fun. That's interesting. That's unique, and that's what makes a good casual game. We fucked up the other team. Who cares if it was by chance? The underdogs managed to break through by pure chance. I mean, you could say that's bullshit. It probably is.
I wouldn't say that's fun. What I would find fun about
fun.
Well then it's just this is just gonna come down to opinion. It's just gonna be a back and forth over and over. But what I find fun is a game that's tightly matched, and it comes down to an Uber push, not a fucking.
Yeah, but it does mostly come down to that. It's I don't think one crit will change a push. I mean, it can, but it's
but
not...
you just said the crit crits like that make it more fun. But
you said that.
No, you just said, Party, you fucking leave.
The bickering you couple here.
Please continue.
Yapology in this call.
You said that crits can change a game. I said if they could change a game,
Professor of Yapology.
All right, let's just shut up and just keep playing.
No, hold on. He just said he's just reverting. He's trying to.
I'm not reverting shit. My point is that crit. All right, they can make the game more fun and interesting. All right, and casual. I don't think they should be in competitive. I think if you want a purely competitive experience,
Where are you getting competitive from? I haven't said anything about competitive.
You said that you want. Okay, you said I want my game to be already come down to pure skill, Uber, and it's yeah, fair enough. All right, but that's not most TF2 games are like that. But sometimes there might be a chance where a crit might change up the game, I guess, slightly. I'm just yapping on. We just play the video.
Yappinator. Stop
Please just play this. You guys just repeated the same arguments over and over.
Exactly. Alright, let's just go.
I'm playing Kevin McAloy. They're arguing.
Right, just go play the video. I've had enough of this.
I am an audio engineer. And I am a.
Compare the hypothetical amount of positive feedback the random crit pitcher gets to the hypothetical amount of negative feedback the random crit catcher gets. Now, if you were to calculate the amount of enjoyment the average person gets from killing someone unfairly with random crit compared to the amount of
This is like what we just sounded like 10 seconds ago. This is just us.
You can conclude that positive experiences will almost always be less memorable and cause less of an effect
This is
than
the
negative
this is
experiences,
the
which come
one
with negativity
point
bias.
of the video
I'm sure
that
you've seen
I really don't like, because he just like provides no proof for the negativity bias. I've watched this video a couple of times. I still don't understand what he means by it. That's the one point.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He hook up
Uses the point of negativity bias, but I don't think in
crits.
TF2 it applies, because I think, like I said, I think dying in TF2 is like, oh shucks, I died, or maybe like one fuck, but when
That's
you get a
what I
random
said.
crit, usually pop the fuck off, then post it on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that leaves more of an impact than dying once in a casual game.
I agree that
But,
posting
yeah.
things on Twitter has more impact than dying in a video game.
I wanted to bring up a little thing for a little argument for random crits. Some of the most satisfying kills I've ever gotten in TF2 was when someone gets a random crit on me and I survive, and then I somehow manage to turn it back around and kill them anyway.
You
That-
just like you beat the odds.
Yeah.
You defy the odds.
I agree.
Exactly, you beat the that's like a great feeling
It's almost
when that happens.
it's almost like the feelings are like diverse, and many feelings could happen as a result of random crits, and it's not just one way or something. That's crazy.
It's like the slot machine told you lose, and then you just break it anyway.
Could you imagine if you could you imagine at the casino you lose to a slot machine, you just break it and take the money anyways?
Yep, time to get the crowbar.
The Sigma music starts playing in the background as you walk out,
You
as you're
lose
handcuffed
every
and walk
chance
out.
you
Of,
don't take.
yeah. Society said I couldn't have the money.
I think we can all agree that a little bit of chance is fun. You know what I mean?
I could agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
a little bit of chance that like
not that-
sends you back to the spawn room is not.
It's not that big of a deal. Like,
It's
genuinely,
like-
that's the thing. I don't think dying once to a crit. If
I
you die
was-
multiple
It's not
times,
that
yeah.
big of a deal.
We're going
but-
in circles. It like it is.
Yeah.
It can be.
I think
it
that
can be.
I was gonna say arguing how big of a deal it is. You're gonna have to like be much more specific with, because it literally matters as much as any death does, and there are a lot of things in TF2 that we complain about because they kill us more often than they should. So I don't think that's an argument in either direction.
Yeah.
I think if we're gonna argue against or for random crits, we should not argue about how it makes us feel, because that differs between each person. And also, I don't want to have to start playing Kevin McLeod again.
But because measuring the feelings of players is never going to be reliable, I don't consider the negativity bias to be the end-all be-all magic bullet for killing off random crits once and for all. In fact, I'm getting this negativity bias thing out of the way early on because I don't plan on bringing up points that have their entire basis in feelings, opinions, emotions, love, hate, or the human condition. This video is going to be 100% science from here on
I
out.
think there needs to be a little bit of that, though. A little bit of this feelings. You know what I mean? A little bit of like social engineering.
I think it's
Sorry, liberal. Haven't you heard? Facts don't care about your feelings.
so true, so real. Oh my
Sorry,
god.
I've just been. I'm getting too woke. All right, play the video.
I mean, hey, at the end of the day, the game has to feel good when you're playing it. So
Yeah, but if you're gonna argue at the point about game design, you should not argue about feelings. We went over this last time with Spy, but like just because in order to
Yeah.
play or play against Sniper, Sniper's not unbalanced because he feels bad to play against. That's not the point. There's other things that are much easier to quantify than feelings that we could point to say that like Sniper's bad. But yeah.
Damn it. Well, like 99% science. Random crits break stalemates! Back in the ancient
just
era
play the
of
video and then we go,
2007
well,
AD, there were 6 maps in TF2. There was no such thing as unlockable weapons. There was no Kritzkrieg, there was no direct hit, there was no air blast. You couldn't even pick up your buildings as engineer until 2010. It was certainly a different time, but I don't know. I didn't start playing TF2 until 2012, long after they added in years worth of additional content. I don't know what it was like back then. But I can assume that maybe because there wasn't a whole lot of playstyle variety due to there being no such thing as loadouts, maybe because the only maps in the game included 2, Fort, and Dust Bowl, maybe because stalemates might have been a natural side effect of a groundbreaking original concept being introduced to a gaming audience that wasn't accustomed to casual class-based team shooters requiring a decent amount of teamwork and communication. Maybe because of all that, random crits might have been a good call in the early stages of TF2. And who knows, maybe if the game launched, never got an update ever again, and remained in its original state up until now, we might not even be having this conversation. But in reality, we have this, a chaotic clusterfuck of 9 different classes with thousands of different weapon combinations, all with varying degrees of strengths and weaknesses, all clashing together in servers populated with people sporting varying degrees of skill. Ever since TF2 launched over a decade ago, the game has become a completely different experience entirely. It's practically practically unrecognizable, and I can confidently attribute the increasingly slow but steady content updates and balance changes to the continued success of TF2. Without the constant adaptations that have changed the game for the better up until now, TF2 would have been dead long ago. And I believe that random crits are a mechanic that remain in TF2 as a relic of the past. Over time, the game has evolved to address the issues of stalemates, maps have gotten much better in the tight choke point department, and people in general have gotten way better at TF2, some gamers putting thousands upon thousands of hours into practicing the art of pushing through a choke point.
That's not everyone though. Like that's not the vast majority
That's just
of people.
you, bro.
I wasn't gonna. This is like reverse skill issue.
It's true.
This is like you're too good to make this argument. I was gonna.
It's like the angle he's taking it. The angle he's approaching this from is more like, oh well, he's only approaching it from like the angle of like people who've been playing since forever already, not new players, not how it feels from a newcomer, which is like how it should be approached.
I
agree with like what he says that it's a relic of the past because the whole reason why it was implemented was to help with momentum, but now it's been fixed because of every other mechanic that they've added into the game.
Waylon says there's not much discussion going on, that we just seem to be watching the video.
I was gonna
go
say,
back a minute ago.
Did he join the second we stopped talking? No, because the only reason
he's just joined.
Well, no,
he's just joined. We literally paused me for like 50 minutes. And me and Sam yap on and have an actual argument.
Waylon's like a massive hater. Like regardless, just like leave him be. He just lives to hate.
There's no discussion going on, guys.
So here's what I was gonna say, right? I wasn't gonna let him. The reason why I actually let the video talk is because he didn't really make an argument. He just said like, his argument for why random crits don't break stalemates is that random crits do break stalemates, but so do a bunch of other things, so it doesn't matter. That's basically what he just said.
They kind of do, but like not really. Like sometimes maybe.
Like if
they're
you
very unreliable way of breaking a stalemate.
This is not what I would consider to be.
I think it's a good argument though, because like originally the point is not just to break stalemates. It's to like it was just to let players like could carry on their momentum with their team, like they're capping a point, then move to the next point, then take advantages, etc. But like with all the new stuff that they added after random crits were introduced in the first place. Random crits are just kind of there, and it's clearly a mechanic that's not aged well anymore because games become just so much more mechanically intense.
Yeah, that's true. It's like I think
Waylon's a teacher too. Well, he's a history teacher.
Whoa, teacher, whoa.
Teacher.
Meeting of the minds in chat.
Stop it! No! My
They pulled out my ears!
Miss! They broke my legs! Miss, they stole my crutches! Oh,
They're tearing out my organs,
They pushed me off my wheelchair and
They've stolen my pancreas, miss!
No one knows this bit.
Everyone knows that one kid. Come on.
Yeah, everyone knows that one kid.
Miss, they took my inhaler! They're vaping in my inhaler, miss!
Why are they vaping in your inhaler? Why would they do that?
That's happened.
I'm sure. Azel, I think that what you said was a good argument. I don't think that's the argument he's making.
Yeah,
I think
it's the one he should have made, though.
I would agree. I think arguing that random crits are bad from a place of this is what they were supposed to accomplish. They don't do that. Is probably one of the best ways to go about it, and he doesn't really do it in this video. He kind of does it a little bit, but we haven't gotten there yet. I think that this argument is bad because he said that it was saying that this is going to be 100% science, and then basically just your next argument is just, well, there's a lot of other things that do it, so it doesn't really matter anymore. Is like you kind of undermined yourself a little bit.
By the way, I just want to
very unscientific.
I think we all do think this is a good video. Well, I think it's a good video. It's just that, like, obviously, I don't 100% agree with it, but I think he does put his argument together very well. Mostly. I'm the jury's out for me. I haven't seen it as recently as I haven't seen it recently enough to be able to say that. I remember it being good, but the way he structured this argument does not leave me hopeful for the future because this is not.
If you were gonna make
I just
if you were gonna make this point, you would have to do a lot more. You'd have to like give me if you were gonna actually make this point conclusively. I feel like you'd have to give me. Who was it? It might have been El Maxo, but someone did a thing where they did like 100 matches, and they took the data from each of those matches to make a point. I would if he had done that here to basically say here's how many times a random crit in a spectated match will say broke a stalemate. It happened this amount of time, therefore we can assume this. That would
be good research to have on hand actually, because that would like add to my point of what I was saying earlier with Sam.
Well, yeah, because if you can conclusively determine how often random crits affect something, that would be very vital in determining whether or not we should have them. Because maybe the good happy feelings that come from random crits are worth it if they only happen like 10 or 5 or 1% of the time.
I just think like
Yeah.
It just depends how you want to play TF2. And I think most people want to play TF2. They don't play TF2 to have a purely competitive experience. You know what I mean?
And there are
I
places...
think probably there are people who do, but like it's like it's hard to say because like trying to find a solution that makes everyone happy, that makes the people who want to play TF2 like it's it's Overwatch, or the people who want to play TF2 because it's like a fun chat room. Like trying to find a way that compromises both of those people is pretty much it's like impossible. You know what I mean? I don't think there is like at the end of the video he says like, oh, we need to. There's only one way to solve this. We just have to remove them all entirely. There's no way they can't work. It's like, I mean, I guess, but it's like, it's like, I don't know. I don't think it really fixes the problem for everyone. You know what I mean? I think
I'm really enjoying this frame of Squirrely here. Just looking at Squirrely's scout set this whole time.
I agree.
Really been enjoying that.
I wonder what he's doing now. Or them, I guess.
Hey guys, Squirrely here today.
Let's watch.
Let's watch some more Squirrely. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm down. Also, just letting everyone know, 73% of people voted yes. That is better for a multiplayer game. To be fair.
By the way, only 1% of people watching are subscribed, so make sure you hit that bell.
Guys, did you know that I'm like really close to 15K?
That's true.
That's
14.9K. That's good. It's 15.
Yeah. Also, my phone just died. That was unrelated. Let's hit the play button.
I will commit several crimes if you don't subscribe right now. I will bomb several.
So am I.
To prop up the original quality game that had been standard over a decade ago. We simply don't need random crits anymore. The game is now entirely random all on its own, and even better, it now achieves that feeling of randomness without a need for random crits, which is actually a major...
I feel like he's going to contradict this statement later by saying that randomness is bad, but I might be wrong. Like, the idea that TF2 is already random, so we don't need random crits is going to be interesting when I believe he says that the randomness is why it's bad.
Like, I think we should put a pin in that.
I would just like to point it out because I feel like he says something that contradicts this later.
Part of the answer to the following argument.
Random crits make casual TF2 more casual and silly.
This is a very common argument, and I personally get a little offended on the game's behalf when I hear it because I don't think it gives the brilliance of TF2's comedic value very much credit at all. The silliness, the goofy and casual nature of Pub TF2 can be very easily attributed to many, many things that have nothing to do with the game mechanics, such as the characters, the way you can interact with your teammates and enemies alike, and the ridiculous concepts for weapons, game modes, maps, cosmetics, and of course, ragdolls. Hello and welcome back to another edition of Ragdoll Theater.
With the Ragdoll Theater.
Les funny ragdolls.
I think the point the scout should have made is it should have been like it makes TF2 silly random XD, but it does make the game more unique. Do you know what I mean? I think that would have been a better way of phrasing that.
I would have.
It does make the game more unique. It does. Like, there's not many
but it's still but it's still the same answer. When you think of like what's unique about TF2, you don't go, "Ooh, random crits." You go, "Fucking."
Yes, you do.
Oh, No, you don't. The first thing that comes to your mind is random crits. No,
not the first thing, but it is one of the things I would probably say.
It's really not though. Like
to me, it's Soundsmith, Death Cam, funny ragdoll.
I wouldn't say funny ragdolls are the thing that makes TF2 because loads of games have funny ragdolls. But how many shooting games have random crits that are multiplayer?
Yeah, but man, like how far down the list is that? Like, if you're thinking about the things that make TF2 unique, as you put it, you'd say the classes, for a class shooter, character development, like the comics, that type of thing, the cosmetics, the taunts, unusuals, um, the amount of weapons, then you start getting into random
If I were
crits.
to say what makes TF2 unique, I would,
I
mean,
don't.
like,
Yeah,
I don't,
it's
I don't
really
think
not near the
at
top
the
of that
time all
list.
those things were unique, but now a lot of those things are commonplace. I would say the weapons probably, yeah, the mechanics, rocket jumping, the way it the way you can play each class in like so many different ways. And I would say random crits is one of the things that makes TF2 a unique game. It is something that only it does, really. Like I don't really know any other games that do that.
I have a thought. I'm gonna say it. I think that this is a straw man. I don't think most people are saying random crits are what makes TF2 casual and silly. I don't think people are saying that. I think that this argument is often made in the way of TF2 is casual and silly, therefore random crits are fine because random crits
Sorry. Sorry.
Is he there?
Sorry for
Is he there? Let's go.
Squirrely, we were just
Let's
talking
go,
about
Squirrely. We were
Lovely
just
Man.
talking
Let's
about
go,
him.
legend.
Oh my god.
I hope
Sorry, I had
that's
to
really him.
interrupt you though. That was a legendary moment.
That is
That's a
amazing.
Marvel cameo moment.
Yo.
Fucking walks in post-credit scene.
The squirrely. Oh, we need a squirrely post-credit scene.
Yo. That's amazing.
Oh, legend.
But no, I
Sorry,
think
what were you saying?
I was sorry. I think that this is a straw man. I think most people are not saying that the random crits are what makes TF2 silly. I think people are saying TF2 is silly and therefore random crits are fine, which is entirely different and something I would be more agreeable to. Like the idea that like because TF2 casual is not a competitive game. Like obviously you want to win, right? And that's all well and good, but I don't think that if winning or losing does not have stakes. It is just the experience of TF2, and I don't think this is an argument people are making. I don't think what the scout says is what most people say when they are trying to make this point.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can never know, but
I just don't like the way you phrase it. Like, oh, TF2 silly, wacky, ha ha ha. It's like whatever. It's like I would say that like random crits do add to the uniqueness of TF2. I think you saying more unique and interesting would have been a better way to say it because it kind of like undermines its point. Like saying, oh, it's goofy lol, and goofy is like stupid. Like it's whatever.
Well, so once again, 100% or 99% science, and then you're just like, man, I feel offended on the game's behalf. Like,
yeah, like come on, yeah,
like,
I'm offended. Lol.
It is a bit diminutive, like diminishing of like the intent behind everything else.
Because I think is random crits a good mechanic is a serious point that needs to be a serious. Like you can't just say because being goofy lol ha ha ha. It's like no, does make the game more unique and interesting.
Like there's definitely people saying that, but like it should be one of the main points. I mean, at least like what he says. I mean, what I remember we heard from like 5 minutes ago is like he's like, yeah, I mean, the game's got enough of that. We don't need crits as well.
This makes me want,
I agree with.
This makes me want to make a video about this because these arguments are much worse than I remember them being so far. I wouldn't.
I mean,
sorry,
I get
there's
the
a
point
dog
he's trying
in
to
the
make. I don't know. I think it's not TF2 isn't the defining thing about it. Random crits aren't the defining thing that makes TF2 silly, but I think it does quote unquote silly. But I do think it helps it make it more unique and stand out and more interesting. In for better
I mean,
or for
it's a
worse,
part of all the
depending
stuff
on how you
that's
wanna play
in
the game.
TF2 that is in no other games out there really.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
no
not
other
any,
like
it's not
FPSs.
I might be wrong, but I don't think it's in any other shooting multiplayer online shooter game. It's a very strictly TF2 thing.
Yeah.
I don't think. All right, here's the thing. I don't think being unique automatically means being good.
I agree.
If what if I made a game and randomly every 30 minutes it sends a I don't know, a sniper to your house and shoot you
Yeah,
man.
I think the point-
It's not. I don't know. I can't. Obviously, over exaggeration, but just because it's unique doesn't mean it's good. I think.
I know, I agree with that.
The point
right,
is
yeah.
that like
I
the
never
point
made that
is the point is like it kind of makes it more that TF2 is trying to be its own thing rather than like TF2 like turning into like one of those like Overwatch or Paladins, all these games that feel exactly the fucking same, or like Valorant where they it's just like,
Yeah, but I've just said there's other ways to do that. Random, just because it's unique doesn't mean it's good. It can still be its own thing. It doesn't have to be this super competitive game, but you don't need random crits to make it not competitive. I don't know how to word that. Yeah, you don't need random crits to make it the quote unquote silly. I know silly is not the right word, but the silly unique game. You don't need random crits to do that for you. There's other ways in doing that.
Yeah,
I mean, Sam's channel is pretty unique, but
I would agree, but that's not really an argument for why they should be removed or changed. It's more of just like they aren't necessary, which like a lot of things in the game aren't necessary for it to function. It's just my thing is I don't like the way that this is structured because there's no argument being made for there's only arguments being made for why they shouldn't be removed by the scout. There's no arguments for why they like are important to the dynamics of TF2. Like I don't think that I don't think being like, well, this should be in here because it makes the game casual and silly. Like that's a non-essential trait. I think that saying like, oh, random crits should be in the game because they he'll in a minute he's gonna make a better point about I remember he's gonna make a better argument for random crits when he says that they help new players get a burst of momentum. And we'll get there when we get there. But first,
the main reason we keep arguing about this because even if they do remove random crits, I think the game still would mostly be the same. I just think it would the change just isn't really necessary.
I would argue it's not necessary either. No.
Yeah, that's like I think that's kind of where I kind of stand on this.
I think the benefit. Sorry, I'm gonna let you go.
No, you go.
I was gonna say I think that the benefits given by random crits for the game are greater. Oh my gosh! If one more person calls me Tyler McVicker, I'm going to lose my mind.
Wait, lads, I'm sorry. And every fucking TF2 YouTuber is rocking out of the woodworks for this.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, Oris TV's in here.
Yeah.
Oris TV. I saw Richter Overtime a bit ago. We had Squirrely.
Yeah.
Squirrely,
am I not good enough, Sam?
Well, no, you guys are in.
You
No, you guys are like the
war
most.
thunder ad.
Can you sign my weapon? Can we collab?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, so can we collab? I actually had a couple ideas that we could do.
So basically, I have this idea for a video. I'm gonna like say 2 lines, and you're gonna edit the whole thing. Okay.
Oh, I could do that. I love editing. Don't even pay me. It's fine.
And yeah, I think I can't even remember what we were talking about.
You
I
were,
think
like,
we should keep
yapping.
going with the video.
I think we should watch Ragdoll Theater. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's time for the
Today we're
ragdolls.
going to be taking a look at the left top window there. And if you just see that soldier get backstabbed, takes a dive out of the window and lands on the crates. Now if we could just take
Sorry,
a look
guys,
at
that
that
was
again in
really
slow
funny.
motion. Keep an eye on the soldier, gets backstabbed, then takes a fucking
Wait,
swan dive
that's
out of
being
the
comedy.
window there and lands on the crates.
It's a ragdoll.
Probably
It's
one of the
funny.
funniest things I've ever seen in TF2.
Another
for-
ingredient
for
for the
watching.
monthly meme.
I mean, I don't really have much else to say on the matter, but
Guys, the Ragdoll was really funny. Okay.
I
Kill
fucking love
Hey, can we get
ragdolls,
some-
man.
Can we get some laughs in the chat?
I
Can we
think
get some ha-has
random
in the
crit.
chat?
I think random crits are more funny than ragdolls. I think that's bottom line.
When a person walk in front of Soundsmith and they say go go go, and then they kill Bind and Soundsmith go, well, that just happened.
Why are you just turning this on stage?
Why is it? I love
been
that it's
doing that
only
bit.
Soundsmith. It's
been
no
doing that
one
bit.
else.
Doing it for 5 years.
7 years
True.
been doing this. Bit
7
where, like,
years he's just been doing
Eddie
the
will come
same
up, kill
bit.
by he'll go like, oh, TF2, am I right?
This is great.
I'll
That is
finish
good.
to the ridiculous claim that TF2's comedic nature is propped up by random crits with this. Ask anyone who is moderately familiar with the game what they think of when they think of TF2. More specifically, what they think
This
is
is literally just what Azel was saying like 5 minutes ago.
funny
that's what I
about
was
TF2?
saying.
Do they say, oh, the
Sure,
random
Sam, say more
crits?
things about
No.
you.
Heavy says Putis. Engineer says nope. TF2
this
is a
is
hat
TF2
name,
comedy.
not
How is the wait? Okay, hold on. Pause. How is this not diminishing the game's comedic value?
Yeah, you were literally just like.
Is it this?
shit,
This is like
shit.
worse, right?
We don't find this shit. This Putis.
This
Okay,
is baby
if-
Coco
if
Melon
you-
time.
if there's a meme on r/TF2 and it's popular, it's not funny, okay? And it's actively diminishing the game's humor. That's my rule of thumb, anyway. Okay. Except, okay, I'll
when
give
I was
it
like watching a lot of TF2 YouTube in 2011, I will admit that Putis and Nope was very funny.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
so
2011.
happy for you.
It's
Find
now
them-
2024 gonna be in like 5 days.
yeah,
I
you-
dare, look, I'm gonna be
One time it's funny, 2 times it's fucking annoying. No, you
Look,
know,
I'm gonna
like
be-
that type of thing.
I'm gonna be real. I bet you could ask a bunch of TF2 YouTubers, and at least one of them would say that random crits are funny.
They are from.
And
I'm
I feel
not gonna deny that they can be funny.
well,
Yeah,
well,
but it's
yes,
like,
but the fact
But
that
would anyone say Putis?
no,
Would
that's what.
anyone
But
say
that's my
Nope?
point. That's my point. I genuinely believe that if you just find someone who says, "Well, I think they're funny," it just invalidates this point. Like, there's no argument other than, well, it's not funny. Smile. No one else thinks it's funny, so stop laughing at it. That's basically this argument.
what?
Like, that's what
Yeah,
Uncle,
so
Uncle Dane
one
is saying.
person-
Like, Uncle Dane is saying, if you asked anyone who's moderately familiar with the game, if they're too funny, they wouldn't say random crits. And I'm like, all you have to do is find someone who says random crits are funny, and suddenly this argument does not work.
No, because if you that like you could find somebody who says like I don't know, scouts, you know, one person's opinion doesn't, he's talking about the like majority of people.
No, but
okay,
I understand that. I'm saying that but his point is based off of anecdotes. It's not. It doesn't have any like basis in the actual game or reality.
Think of it this way:
That's
each
what I
random
mean.
crit can be different. You could like kill a bunch of friendlies with a random crit, or you could kill a top-scoring motherfucker with a random crit and get that Schadenfreude. Well, Heavy saying Putis is the same joke every single time. So like, I'm sorry. I feel like random crits has a lot more room to like get a laugh out of you.
I genuinely am
This
not.
video was made in 2018. Were Putis and Nope like that big still at the time?
No.
Like at all?
Well, no, I'm just stuck at this. All I was saying is this argument's anecdotal as fuck. This argument is based off of, well, if you asked people, they would say this, and therefore,
Yeah.
point, which is not.
Where is the evidence? Where is
I was
the...
like, I would like you to give me a poll.
evidence?
Please give me a poll. I need a poll that says like, no, random crits. Just like ask your audience, are random crits funny? That like I get. That's all. This
Yeah,
bugs
but
me.
he covered that in the first point. Is that like random crits are funny and it feels good to get a random crit, but he went over that in his first point.
Well, then
That's
why
the
is he
thing, like.
going over it again? If
Huh?
that's the case, then why is he going over it again?
What is the topic for this section of the
It's
video?
that it makes it's casual and silly.
Headache says mem. Lol.
Yeah, but he's saying that
Nope.
it's not like just because it is, it can be silly, and he does admit that himself. But it's not like one of the main things that makes it silly, and it's not going to be that big of a loss if they lose it.
No, I'm
it's
saying
lost.
that for a lot of people, I would wager for a lot of people that it is something that makes TF2 silly for them. And I don't think we should just disregard those
yeah,
people because they're
but-
not the majority.
But I think you're doing what you're doing what sorry, I can't fucking get my words together. You're doing what you are critiquing him of doing, which is giving anecdotal evidence with no backing. You've given your opinion, he's given his opinion, but
Sam, you like
nothing
the Uncle
else.
Dane dick
Because-
sucker, genuinely.
No,
We're
I'm not.
talking about-
I'm having a fucking discussion on a
Calm down,
discussion
Jesus.
podcast.
Well, no,
Calm down.
no, Sam. What I'm saying is because he has made the argument is bad because if he could say, I think that if you ask the majority of the people, they would say this, and all I have to say to refute said argument is the opposite of that, and we have the same amount of evidence to support each other, so the argument just cancels each other out. I'm saying that if he needs backing to prove this, is what I'm saying. Like if you could prove, like hypothetically, right? If you could prove that everyone except for one person cared about or doesn't care about random crits, then he would have a better argument here, because
I think
they'd be losing it for that one person as opposed to a bunch of people.
We're discussing what's funny and what's not funny.
Yeah, I
What's,
think
it's just
inherently
like-
not-
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm
Someone
sorry.
said in the chat, this is a lot of time spent on a point about 2010 TF2
Yeah,
memes.
this is-
Time to move on.
Yeah, like if we're gonna talk about what's funny and what's not funny, don't make me go on another Soundsmith tirade. Can we just keep going?
I just wouldn't have. That's all. I'm just saying I wouldn't have put this in the video because I think it muddies the point. That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
Random
yeah,
crit
yeah.
game.
Random crits.
And also, it was literally the last thing that he said. So it literally was his point. It wasn't just an offhanded thing he said. It was literally what he was saying. But
We're never finishing this
But
video.
random crits. No, Heavy says Putis. Engineer says nope. TF2 is a hat game, not a random
This is what
crit
makes
game.
TF2 funny, guys.
Random crits give new players a chance at getting kills, which makes them want to play even more.
While it's definitely true that random crits do give new players kills that they normally wouldn't get, the fact that random crits do not benefit new players specifically suggests that the game is not designed around coddling newbies'
that was
feelings. In
funny
fact,
because-
the suggestion that random crits are there to benefit the poor souls who are just so bad that they only ever get to see their name in the kill feed when they get owned by some big bad veteran is simply not true. The percentage rates of random crits are based on the damage you've recently done, which means that in summary, the better you're doing, the more likely you'll continue to do well. If that sounds familiar to you, then that probably means you've already heard it directly from a TF2 developer's mouth. Roll the clip.
Critical hits are one of the features that resulted from our focus on pacing. The critical hit system attempts to slightly influence the highs and lows of the game by increasing the chance of a critical hit based upon the player's recent performance. In summary, the better you're doing, the more likely you'll continue to do well. This helps create those rare high moments where a single player goes on a rampage and gets 3 or 4 kills in rapid succession.
So no, the random crit mechanic is not designed around helping those Gibbous players get a kill. In fact, the system tends to help people who are already good at TF2. And on top of that, it tends
I think this is a good argument. Does anyone
I think this
disagree?
is his best point in the video. This is his best point in the video.
I think this is his best point in the video as well.
I think that is a really dumb way to
It's his
decide
best
random
point in the
crits.
video because it's just true.
Well, yeah,
it's
it's-
just how it works.
Well,
But it doesn't say why they made it that way. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's rare high moments.
rare high moments. Yeah. Also, people. Just I know Waylon is a professional hater, but I thought I would say it. People, anyone in chat saying like stop yapping and play the video. Welcome to the podcast. Glad you're new here. What we do here is we pause and we talk about things that the person says. That's what we do. Just letting everyone know. We are not Hassan Piker. We are going to get through the video point by point.
Waylon's a hater, bully him.
Let's
in
just
chat.
watch the video.
Everybody
and-
bully Waylon.
We should.
let's change it. Let's watch the video in its entirety. Note pause, and let's just have us in the bottom. Every time he says something, just go true.
Just let the video play.
Christ.
Let's all just get out
Yes.
out of like our chair,
Yes.
leave the room.
Leave the room.
Leave the room.
We
And
should.
just go,
We should
based,
all.
That's based. That's based.
We should just do. We should just do what EFEP did and change all our profile pictures to empty chairs, and then just don't say anything. That'd be a good bit.
Yeah, we should do that.
And then you know, I turn on my camera and there's my maids cleaning the room, my disgusting streamer room in the background.
And
And
I
if
typed in
if you're
chat
like-
like, "Oh, I'm so this is so embarrassing. I can't believe that they're doing this."
If you're like bothered that like the frequent pausing is ruining your viewing experience of this Uncle Dane video, you've had 5 years to
Watch
it at
the
your leisure.
video. Yeah. Anyways, just so we're clear, that's what we're
Wait,
doing.
you're the biggest yapper I know, so shut up. Right?
The Yapinator.
Genuinely,
Yapper.
you're like the big. I call you the yapper when you're not around.
Press 1 in chat if you enjoy yapping.
mainly help the people who are playing classes that are able to put out more damage per second. This is actually where the sarcastic statement, random crits are fair and balanced, comes from. The joke is that they clearly aren't. But while we're on the subject of new players apparently benefiting from random crits, I want to bring up what is quite possibly the most overlooked problem that giving free kills.
I want to make a point here that I'm going to bring it up. Random crits are so much more beneficial to soldiers, any splash damage classes than they are to a single shot like a scout. Okay, so I main scout. If you get a random crit on a player, the max that's going to happen is you kill that one player instantly. You get a random crit as
Which
a
you would have killed
soldier.
anyway, because most of the time you're right behind them.
Exactly. If you get a random crit as a soldier, the max that's gonna happen is that you destroy a whole crowd with one rocket that you might have killed a couple if you just fired a normal rocket, but the splash damage it probably wouldn't have been enough to kill everybody. But with that one rocket, it is really favors splash damage classes, so it really it's
to be fair, scout is a pick class though, so killing one guy in one hit is the best it's gonna do. When it comes down
it doesn't advantage him at all whatsoever to have crits then.
Yeah, compared to other
classes. It is like the place where it actually gets unfair, in a weird kind of way between the classes, because really only soldier and demo benefit from it, and maybe medic and sniper on melees.
Heavy as well.
Right, the heavies do get really angry and they just start laser beaming at you.
Also can't forget melees.
Now that we say melees, I want to say that melees would become significantly less viable and, in my opinion, funnier if random crits weren't there.
I think
he does bring that up, so I think
we should talk about that later, because I think that's a good point. Because crits with melees is so much different than just normal guns with melees. It's basically its own mechanic. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He does talk about that in detail later in the video, so we should keep watching.
Let's save that one for later.
Hey, DB Arts creators in chat, that argument that you're making,
It's a very stupid method of rewarding damage. What giving a random crit does to a new player's continually learning brain is likely more damaging in the long run than it was to the blood pressure of the person they just crocketed. When a new player discovers that they could possibly get a kill just by spamming repeatedly or by running towards someone while swinging their melee weapon, they're going to keep doing that because, hey, just pressing W into a crowd of people worked really well for them once when they randomly killed 5 people with a crit grenade launcher, so why wouldn't they?
Yeah, just
this is a really foot up your arse, stick a hand up your arse.
This is really looking down on players.
You could have just said
it is true. It does teach. It does give a lot of new players bad habits of going for melees when they definitely shouldn't. I see a lot of snipers just give up on SMGs. They just run at you with a melee when they definitely shouldn't, because they'll get had a million crits with it.
Yeah.
Eventually they'll get punished for it so much that they will learn not to do it. That's just the nature of learning. That demo man throwing it off, throwing those pipes, will eventually learn that it's not doing shit and that he should turn around the fucking corner.
But the problem is crits on melees that happen so often that they don't get punished enough that they realize that a lot of players just won't realize for a long time that, oh hey, wait, that's not the best move to do in that situation.
I would agree that this applies most. This idea that crits reward bad playing is most applicable in regards to melee use. Because people the only reason in that clip he goes for that not market garden is because he knows random clips are a factor. That's that's an exact example of that.
Yeah,
but I think the example is null and void when it comes to primaries and secondaries.
I agree. I don't think so.
I just think he thinks that all new players are just some brainless hive mind. It's come on, man. That's just a really fucking egotistical way of thinking about it. Yeah,
it's not egotistical, but very dismissive.
Yeah, not a big fan of that argument.
Yeah, I don't know why he already he didn't need to go this hard. He already did his job. He really doesn't need to include this part of this point.
If he's just doing it as a joke, fair enough. But I think he did. I feel he is trying to make a point that all new players will get a crit and just think, oh, I'm gonna spam the weapon. It's they're not. Just because they're new doesn't mean they're stupid. All right, you know what I mean?
No, I agree.
Just keep doing that over and over.
Oh, Comic Sans.
Until it eventually happens again. This is not a good learning.
Children, but most new players aren't children. Adults play games as well.
Most new players can use their brains.
Experience. This is not what TF2 should be. It shouldn't be played like a throwing shit at the wall simulator, because that's not what it is. The goal is to get kills on other players by...
I don't know why he doesn't have to say... What should TF2 be, guys? Do you guys want to go around and each give an answer? Or can we
This
just
is
move
gonna
on?
be a wormhole.
Yeah,
Guys,
why would you
for
say? Why would you say this is what TF2? This is not what TF2 should be. Principally, for some reason, like we don't
I
need
think
to.
TF2 should just be what it is, but better. You know what I mean? But like fixed. You know what I mean?
I think TF2 should be a life sim RPG. What do you guys think?
No. I think we should-
Have you ever played Paladins? It's
God, that guy's mad.
it's basically
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I
like Team
think
Fortress 3.
Yeah, every class should have a mount they can ride into
No, that
battle.
actually would be. I love the mounts.
The fucking mounts, and you see like the fucking like he's like he plays the engineer in that game. He gets on a fucking like that stallion.
Engineer
The
on a
horse.
It adds nothing. Instead of like perfecting your rollout, you just get on a horse and it takes you there at the same speed every time. It's like wow, great.
That's so funny though. It's like there's no
It's
no
funny,
movement
but
abilities,
it's
just a horse for every class.
It's funny. It
It's
is
so
funny, but
strange.
It's really
Paladins
shit.
is a
It's so
weird
lame.
game.
Anyway, yeah, let's play the video.
Yeah.
Being better than the other person, not to wait until one of your rockets randomly becomes shiny. And to the average freshly installed TF2 player who starts learning how to play the game from the moment they join the server, the way that random crits work, or even the existence of random crits at all, is pretty much guaranteed to be the last thing they notice or care about. All they're thinking about is,
Wait a minute, you shoot at your feet and you can catapult yourself?
It's E-dumps, guys!
I had that exact same keyboard. Holy shit! Hold on, go back.
Wait a minute, you shoot at your feet and you can catapult yourself?
Yeah, I own that exact same keyboard. It's an awful keyboard.
Background.
I do like the Roblox.
That's a cool. That's a funny detail.
That is a funny detail. I agree.
That goes insanely hard.
What the hell's going on?
and when they randomly
That's how
fire a
replays
crocket
think,
into
yeah.
a group of people, they probably won't even notice what happened. But their brain will. Their brain will subconsciously take note that they got kills by doing whatever they were doing, which, considering that they're new and don't know what they're doing, they were very likely playing like an idiot. And that's fine. Playing like an idiot is a part of the learning experience. You slowly and subconsciously learn that playing like an idiot gets you killed. And if you play smarter, your brain will take note that making that specific decision got you a kill, and you should do it again when you have the chance. But when you have the chance to get a kill when you play smart and play dumb, then what value does playing smart ever have?
What? Because sometimes when you play dumb, it works. Playing smart is never valuable. What?
Playing dumb is unpredictable, and unpredictable can work.
Yeah, playing dumb is so much more fun than playing smart, I guess.
But even if he literally, like, the idea that if you play dumb and have a chance to get a kill anyways, that playing smart has no value. That's what he said.
No, that's not right. Because like, if you play dumb, you will get less kills, random crits. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe you'll get one random crit kill or like two a game, but like that.
Because if you're just continually going in mindlessly into the entire enemy team and just dying over and over and over again, you will not have fun. Like, I can tell you that firsthand.
If that
like-
logic's true, then like the scoreboards on TF2 wouldn't just be like the top two players at the top and everyone with like 4 points when,
Well, yeah.
when it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just don't know why he said that.
I think his point. I think his point is clumsy, but I think what he's trying to get at more is just like that for some players, like their like learning experience is affected by that because like
Yeah.
it's not a big thing, but there's definitely a lot of people like I mean I myself for a while I had like way too many random crits per game for everything.
No, yeah.
And
I
like
agree-
that
yeah,
definitely had an impact on how I played.
Yeah. I think that his point, I just don't know why he said that. Like, I agree with what I think he is trying to say, but that isn't what he actually said, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, what he
his point is he generalizes his point a lot more than it should be because
Yeah.
it's not that widespread
Yeah.
as he kind of makes it out to be in the video by accident, I think.
Yeah, he acts like he seems to imply that this is how everyone is, or at the very least how random crits treat the majority of new players when that's not something that you could ever. Oh gosh, it's not something you could ever prove. My microphone fell. I just don't know why. You would write the sentence where you're like,
random crits are a part of every game, and every single game, every time you'll boot up the game, every time you go to casual, they'll be a part of every single game you play. But It's why it would going back to the further. It's why it would have been good if he did like the research of like I played this many games.
Yeah.
And this is how many times random crits had an effect on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been good. That would have been good information to pull up for this.
I agree.
I also think that his point of they're just gonna keep doing the same bad play over and over again, like that will get boring for everyone. Like what I used to do when I first started playing, I would just turtle in the intel room as engineer, rack up like 100 kills, just standing there, just continually hitting my like sentry, and it's just like, and then after like a while, you just realize, yeah, that's it's going well. I'm getting kills, but I want to do something else now, and I think it's the same thing with what he's talking about.
I feel like most like he's saying like, oh, people will get a crit of their melee and just keep running up to people and playing melee. I think if they keep playing long enough, they will unfortunately probably just turn out to be Demonite mains. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good point, actually.
Two paths in life: gets bored, uses
Uses
grenade
melee.
launcher, gets bored, keeps doing it.
Inside you, there are two wolves: Demonite, all of the other characters.
He's the only
Have the chance to get a kill when you play smart and play dumb, then what value does playing smart ever have? What's the point of learning how to play well when you don't have to play well to get a kill? Obviously, the better players will always be more consistently owning people, but a system that rewards players for not attempting to get better is basically a bad tutorial. But hey, at least it's something, right? Also, something really specific to touch on about random
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Tutorial bad.
crits damaging the
If I was
learning
Valve, I'd be
environment and
pissed
basically
about
shitting on the value of skill in TF2. Damage numbers.
That's such a good clip. Damage numbers, please.
No, it's seconded by No, actually, I think the best clip is Banny. Shut the fuck up! Medic air shot, demo air shot.
Any competitive clip with Habib is always good. There's one where
I don't even know if that was Habib in the clip. It was just,
that was a random. He had like a sub in his like team, and then the guy just went soldier air shotting, medic air shotting. And he was like,
shut the fuck up!
He was just like, oh my god.
I think that it's interesting that this point has gone on for longer than the other two did. I don't have any elaboration. I just thought I'd mention it.
A valuable skill in TF2 is the ability to know how much damage you should do to someone in order to kill them, and how much damage your opponent...
Oh, sorry. One more thing. I wish, only because I made a video similar to this, well, not similar, but kind of similarly structured. I wish he would have shown real examples of people saying these things. Just so we have them. I think it would be probably an improvement. There would be like a small thing, just to even like find tweets where people say this, or I don't know, the YouTube comments, anything where someone has said the points that are being made, so we know that.
That would have gone a long way. Because at the very start as well, he said like, "Hey, I've gone through every Reddit, every Discord thing, every tweet, every Twitter thread." But it doesn't show any of them, which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I wish that he would have done that, because it would have added credence to the fact that these aren't strawmen when he's literally using like a fake scout, you know.
Yeah,
that's
I think a lot of us don't partake in like these like forum discussions and threads on random crits, so it'd be good to like have a small insight as to what they actually look like, what people actually say in them, instead of just like seeing the scout.
Yeah,
just gonna say them.
I don't have a PhD in a random crit discourse myself, so it would have been nice.
It can possibly do to you versus how much damage you can currently take before dying. You know, reading damage numbers. This includes remembering how much damage every weapon can do, so it's not something that you can learn overnight. And knowing how to count damage and make decisions based on your own knowledge in the moment is a pretty big part.
Why did 3 of the 4 guests go into the chat and start talking to each other?
We're
just like, who up discussing?
Of deathmatch skill, and often sets the good players apart from the better ones. Okay, you guys need an example. Okay, so say I'm playing soldier and I round the corner to see a demo man. I have the battalion's backup equipped, so my health is at 220. I notice that he doesn't have overheal particles coming off of it.
You know, this is really good, like editing video wise.
Oh yeah.
It's alright. I could do so much better than this.
Oh, alright.
There's a YouTube channel called NotSamG. I think he does better editing, honestly.
him, so I can safely assume that he's, at most, 175 health. So I shoot him with a rocket, dealing 90 damage with a direct hit. I dodged the first grenade that he...
fucking analysis of this, because he's the Pokemon master in here.
Oh yeah, with the Pokemon bit. Well, the thing is, in Pokemon, the whole point of crits is to break. Someone said in the chat is to break stalemates. It's to break stall. Because like how crits work in Pokemon, they don't just triple your damage. They also like remove like any stat buffs you put on. So if there's like a guy and he's like set up triple defense and you can't like beat him, then if you just keep swinging at him, you can get a crit. The crit will negate like the stat and it will kill him.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So that's how they work in there. But of course, that's not a reliable way of breaking of stall because it might just not. First off, it might just not happen. Second off, it might happen at a time and just like piss everyone off because it's just like it might happen at the wrong time and just piss everyone off. So it's not a great mechanic, but it has its place.
Yeah.
In TF2, it's mostly just for fun. You know what I mean? It's just great rare high moments.
Yeah. Those rare high moments.
Rare high moments.
Shot at me, but he hits me with the second one, doing 100 damage and putting me down.
Another infamous game that is multiplayer, competitive, and has random crits.
Yeah, it is
120 health. Now, I know both from experience and from witnessing it firsthand in this particular fight that his grenade launcher will do 100 damage to me. I also know that due to my first rocket doing 90 damage to him, that he has 85 health left, meaning that if I can manage to hit him with another direct rocket, he's toast. But my enemy is also well educated in damage numbers, so he realizes that he is not able to take a second direct rocket. So he attempts to juke my next rocket, hoping that he can take at least a bit of splash, which will give him enough time to hit me with another pipe. But I know I'm able to take at least one more pipe from him due to my health being at 120. So I can afford to not focus on dodging in order to track his movement better, so I can land a direct rocket easier. But my opponent turns out to be better at jukes than I am at hitting a direct, so I only hit him with a 50 damage splash rocket, and he connects his second pipe. Luckily, he did not notice that I'm wearing a backpack that increases my health, and he's caught off guard by my survival. But on the bright side, this experience has taught him a lesson. In the future, this demo man will be sure to take note of any health-altering items the enemy might be wearing so he can plan his attack better. So now I've done 150 damage and taken 200 damage myself. I'm at 20 health, and he's at 25. Because the next pipe he fires will undoubtedly be my demise if he connects it, I start to increase my jukes to stay alive. But coincidentally, it is much easier for me to hit a second splash rocket, which will be enough to finish him off, than it would be to go for another direct rocket, which would do an unnecessary amount of damage. So I shoot a rocket at his feet before he can fire his last grenade, the splash hits him, and he dies. I have now won this exchange, and I retreat to a health pack. Now keep in mind that this entire fight, along with the thought process of both myself and my opponent, took place over the span of less than 5 seconds.
He's back.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, are they like friends? I don't even know.
Who?
Yeah, no,
probably.
mate. I was just like a cryptid.
I thought it was just some random guy.
No, mate, they're fucking friends.
Oh,
They're friends.
Welcome back.
I didn't know they were friends.
I would say the whole thing about like damage numbers. I have damage numbers activated like on so in game so I can see it properly. I've never like properly had to look at them or anything because first of all I suck at math. I would not remember all the items, and I have dyscalculia, so I would not be able to put the numbers together in my head on the go.
The thing is, it's not, and I think it was kind of worded badly. He's not actually saying, he's not saying like, oh yes, I'm counting. I did 87 minus drag the 1. It's just like, you know, I shot a rocket. A rocket does roughly 100. You know. I know how many rockets it takes to kill this guy. It's not actually about.
It's
a bit rough estimates.
The way I think about it when I play is I'm just like, oh, okay, this guy takes about 2 rockets.
Exactly.
If he has something else. But the thing is, like, if when it comes to items that give extra health, I am completely clueless still after like almost 2,000 hours of playing because play that much still. But like, it's like if my mentality is like if he doesn't take 2 rockets, I will just kill myself. I am giving up. I'm not playing this.
So I think also he's being healed by Scroll. I just realized that's what you guys were talking about. But no, I was very blind. No, but I think his point. I would agree that his point. What he's about to say is. In TF2, there is this point of it basically amounts to in TF2 there is a lot of potential depth from interactions that you can have in 1v1 or other situations. Damage numbers are an example of how that depth can present itself. So hypothetically, you can do something such as calculate individually, like how much each of these things is going to do. So therefore, I can predict what is going to happen. Like this is something you can do, right? And he's going to say that random crits eliminate this depth. That's his point. I wish he would have put this in a separate conversation than the one about the thing that he started this with. But here we are. I think this point is fine. I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I think it's like
This is completely fair.
Yeah.
He's just trying to say that like random crits eliminates sort of the depth that goes into like 1v1 situations in TF2, which is true and is why they obviously not on in competitive.
Yes.
But I think most of the time you are going to have the situations. Just that it's just if you're playing casually and you're not really thinking about all that, you are probably going to die from a random crit now and then. But in return, you have the chance to get a clip for Twitter.
Yeah. I think that this is true. How much it affects the game, I would agree that this is a flaw. I would just concede that this is correct.
Yeah, this is he is spitting facts here.
Yeah,
he literally is just spitting direct facts.
This is just true, I think.
Alright, let's play.
Seconds. The observations that we made, the decisions that we executed might seem pretty obvious when you slow down and deconstruct it like I just did, but the ability to think about damage and make choices based on what you know from experience and what you know from what is in front of you in real time is a very real, very important skill. But let's take a look at this situation one more time. Say I'm playing soldier and I round the corner to see a demo man. He fires a crit pill at me, doing 300 damage, and I die instantly.
Cool!
All of my knowledge of damage
Pokemon.
numbers, the entire skill of anticipating damage, the whole concept of deathmatch outside of aiming and movement
happens.
Yes.
is completely invalidated by a random crit that neither I or the demo man could have predicted to happen. Even if the crit pill happened partway through this battle instead of at the very start, it still would have been an upset since the decisions that are made are entirely based around what is happening and what has happened instead of what might happen. In summary, random crits invalidate skill not only on the broader
I wouldn't say that they invalidate skill. I think that's a hyperbole.
Oh, I'd agree.
I think they can, but they don't invalidate it by default.
Yeah, no,
they can just turn the tides of a fight by like completely upside down, but then it puts more like if in situations where like how Indy said earlier, if the other person survives a random crit, then it puts more like the whole burden of like having to outscale you on your enemy.
Yeah,
which can be a fun dynamic as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
The problem is most of the time random crits are insta kills.
Most of the time I don't know. I would like data. I don't know if I would agree because I know that there are a lot of times where random crits just happen, but in situations where like you either miss, or in situations where it just wouldn't have been helpful. Like for instance, you're playing scout and you get a random crit, but only half of your pellets connect, and it's like, well, I mean.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I would say I would have just rephrased it to they can invalidate skill sometimes. Yeah. But yeah. Whatever. Small nitpick.
Having data would have been so good for this.
I would have loved, man, that would have been so cool. Makes me wish there was better video.
Really like added to his point, I think.
I agree.
If you do make your own like random crits video, you gotta get data for
Yeah,
it.
I would love to see if I could get like a bunch of people to play TF2 and spectate to see how many, or so I don't know if there's like a tracker in game for how many random crits have been performed, or if I can find a bot that does that. That would be wonderful.
I don't think that exists, but there's probably people who'd be down to help with that.
If I can find that, I'd love to turn that into a project. Also, I'd like to point out that Squirrely got 21 points this round.
The individual scale as well. Okay, we get your point, Dane. Random crits are bad for the game in more ways than one. You're so very cool and smart and handsome. But let's say we actually do remove random crits from the game.
Removing random crits would make a lot of weapons unbalanced.
So the simplest way to...
I would love... I have never heard this argument made by a real person.
No, because there's weapons with no random crit.
I have actually heard it, but I'm gonna bring up a point that he doesn't bring up. The fact that they are random. How do I word
the video
this?
a little bit just so we can see the weapons.
Yeah. Let him play his point.
This
You can
common
show the
argument
weapons
is to
on
just
screen,
ask to name a single weapon in TF2 that is over or underpowered in either third-party or in-game competitive mode because of random crits being disabled. You can go ahead and
In-game competitive. Oh, sorry, my bad.
pause the video here to look it up, or you can just take my word for it, that there's literally not a single weapon that changes the gameplay in a significant.
I think a lot of weapons become a lot worse if you take away the random crits.
Melees.
Melees, Calmangler is like the wait, does that become better or worse? That becomes a lot better actually.
Okay, my thing about this, the fact that they are inherently random means that you can't treat what a crit does to a weapon as like, oh, that makes the weapon better because it's inherently random. You can go for a kill and not get a single crit. So, removing the crits, it's not, you're not making the weapon bad. If the weapon is bad and it's only good with crits, then it's
I agree that sorry, my bad.
I think a lot of weapons become just like worse or better. It does change the balance of a lot of weapons. Like I think the Calmangler becomes a lot. The Calmangler in casual is like pretty mid because first off, sentries are everywhere. Second off, crits are a big part of Soldier. Well, not a big part, but they are a part of Soldier, and having them gone does nerf him a little bit. It would probably become a better weapon. It still wouldn't be great because sentries still, but there are other weapons like that. I wish I had a list of them in my to pull from.
I was gonna say that this argument's strange because he said how do I explain? He said like these weapons, go ask or go look up if these weapons are over or underpowered because of random crits being disabled in competitive, when I wouldn't. The idea that competitive is not the same as casual with random crits turned off. These two things aren't the same.
He did say in casual as well.
No, he said okay, hold on, maybe I misheard him. I'll rewind it.
Ask to name a single weapon in TF2 that is over or underpowered in either third-party or in-game competitive mode because.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my bad. I thought he said casual.
Yeah, no. So it's strange to say that, like, because for all we know, if random crits, now granted, I don't think this is true, but if random crits were turned off for certain weapons in casual, it would make them better or worse, or it would change the balance of the game significantly enough to where it would be like it would matter. I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't know why you would point to competitive when we're not talking about that.
Yeah, if we're talking strictly casual, it doesn't. I think melees get the biggest nerf. Melees basically become like unusable.
Yeah. But it's also it's
not
casual.
Unusable, but like a lot worse.
That's one of our arguments for random crits is that they're in a mode where the focus of the mode is not like winning necessarily. The focus of the mode is on having fun, as dubious of a concept as that is. And the idea being that the random crits offer more fun than they take away. We can't really quantify that, but the whole point is like we could try and figure out what is the game incentivizing players to do, and do random crits help them accomplish that, or are they too detrimental to players accomplishing that? And that's what this video probably should be about. But this video doesn't seem to be making any of those points.
I think some weapons. I'm looking at the list now. I think some weapons that become completely obsolete, probably like stock melee on Soldier, like the shovel, would be completely obsolete from the market garden.
Yeah, but it already is, even with random crits, because like
because it does suck.
For Pyro, there's every other melee weapon is a direct upgrade, pretty much.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I don't think that the point that the fake scout is making is a good one, and it's like so bad I wouldn't even include it in the video. I just don't think it's important enough to mention. But hey, more power to you.
Or at least like
I do think it is a
explain
point.
why people think that way.
It is a point that I have seen people bring up, so I think it is worth mentioning.
I think the same with the like knife for sniper, like the default one. That's quite a used one.
Someone in
that
chat
basically
said the cuckoo.
completely useless compared to like the bushwhacker. But so Yeah, it would change some things. I'd say. I don't say it's like
The thing is, like, it would change stuff, but it wouldn't. It would change stuff, but it doesn't mean that it's good. Because like essentially, if it just relies on having a random chance of one-shotting like an enemy, that's that's not. People still don't use those weapons anyways because of
people
that.
do use the stock knife for sniper. That's true.
Don't call it the knife.
People prefer,
Sometimes
a very big
prefer
knife.
to run, for demo night, a lot of people prefer to run stock over like the Islander just because of like crit chance.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
So that playstyle would be
That too.
completely.
Yeah.
Ask to name a single weapon in TF2 that is over or underpowered in either third-party or in-game competitive mode because of random crits being disabled. You can go ahead and pause the video here to look it up, or you can just take my word for it that there's literally not a single weapon that changes the gameplay in a significant way in an environment without random crits. Maybe the Southern Hospitality is a little bit better, but I mean, we're talking about 20 weapons here. Yeah, that's right. There are only 20 weapons out of the 133 unlockable weapons, not including reskins, swords, spy melees, sniper primaries, or weapons that do no damage that have a no random crits stat. So when people assume that removing random crits would be a massive undertaking by the TF team to rebalance a bunch of weapons, they are quite mistaken. In fact, the only change the TF team would have to make would be removing that line of text that says no random crits on those 20 weapons, and the balance would be pretty much unchanged. And even so, it's not like the TF team is a stranger to making
rebalance are ones that already need rebalancing. So
That's
Like somebody said in chat, Maximilian in chat, like people use the caber. Like caber is like one where like you use it for the random crits.
Yeah, though. Yeah, you.
No one's using the caber for the regular hits.
I think Fish makes that point in his video on the caber.
Caber literally is less damage than stock. Like, how do you fuck up a weapon that bad?
This is just like a sad moment for the caber more than anything.
Imagine Flog with random crits.
That'd be
like, Flog used to have random crits. They had to remove it. Do you remember that?
Did?
I remember.
I do.
Yeah,
this did
a short
happen.
bit.
Could you imagine like that you start getting crit with the flog and you think that the guy's popped, but in reality it's just a random crit and you're like, well.
I don't think the caber has crits, does it? Are you sure
it does?
Yeah, it does.
Let me check.
It's the only reason why people use it.
I was gonna say,
like,
I thought
there's others, but like
I thought Fish said that. I thought Fish said that in his video on the caber.
Well, whatever.
Like if there was no random crits, the caber would just actually be obsolete.
It's just a downgrade.
It's just not usable at all.
Yeah.
Technically it is, but it's I mean, it's as you said, it's all weapons that would already need to be rebalanced anyways.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Alright, let's go.
Just in math anyway.
But what about if you removed random crits from the melee weapons? Wouldn't that make them non-viable?
Yes, removing random crits would prevent people from doing this or this, and it would probably prevent people from getting away with things like this. But the ability to do 195 damage at a significantly higher rate than other weapon types, I might add, is not what makes melee weapons viable. As far as I'm concerned, melee weapons have always had two very clear uses in TF2. Last resort damage in close combat situations, and utility. The first obvious use of a melee weapon, last resort damage in close combat situations, is completely nullified by the existence of random crits. When you think about it, 65 damage is already a pretty good chunk of health. You can two-shot 4 of the 9 classes in the game with that. But the entire point of a melee weapon that isn't used for utility purposes, such as the stock melees, is to pull it out when you've expended all of your ammo and you're up against the wall with no other quick options left. If you manage to hit someone for just enough damage to keep them hanging on by a thread and you're all out of bullets, and they're running at you with a crazed look in their eye knowing that you're a sitting duck, that's when melee weapons come in handy. But when you throw in a very high chance of being able to one-shot 7 out of the 9 classes in TF2 just by running towards someone, you begin to wonder why Spy even...
It wasn't even a random crit in the clip.
Some of the clips he uses don't really make sense. I'm gonna be real.
That was strange.
Seriously, what is the point of using conventional weapons when you...
I guess that's true. But like, I think he just used to use less footage.
Yeah, this is the weird choice of clip.
You can just press W into people and have a pretty good chance of killing whatever doesn't kill you first. This harkens back to my earlier point that the ability to kill someone outright just by running at them is a terrible way to teach players how to do well in this game. And even if the weapon is just used for utility, which is the second use for your melee slot in TF2, the ability to randomly crit someone creates a monster of a weapon that invalidates most of the other options. A great example being the Ubersaw, which is notorious for getting a ton of random crits, but also giving the medic a...
No one would use the bone saw, I'm gonna be real. Everyone's... because it's just
Yeah, that's just because the bone saw is a flawed weapon.
The
like,
reason isn't the reason why the Ubersaw has a notorious random crit rate isn't because of the Ubersaw specifically. It's because of the class it's on and the fact that in order for the Ubersaw to be a good weapon, you have to hit people with it. So people get hit by it more often. So
it's because it's because melee crit rates. I think that's just the whole reason.
Oh
No,
no,
I think no, it is that. I think I checked out a Shunic video earlier before this, like to refresh on how they work. But like I think it's because of like because of the way, like, I'm probably getting this wrong, but I think the way like the crit percentage is calculated when you're medic, it calculates off of the people you're healing, I think. So it'll take the one of the last person you've healed, and then it just makes that your crit percentage.
chance,
That's why a lot of medics have like that many get that many crits with like their melees, because their crit chance is based off the people they've healed.
Yeah, that's what I.
If they're healing someone, they're usually doing quite well. If they're pocketing someone, I mean.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
I not that big of a deal for medics to have random crits, because I don't know.
They're already
it does give them a pretty good way to defend themselves if they have like because like it's like most of the time you're gonna be taking out medics from afar. You're not gonna be sneaking up behind them because like they'll have their whole team around them anyway.
Yeah. I think that his overall point's fine. He's going really hard on this point that I don't think is particularly strong as is, but
I think the Ubersaw is its best. It's basically the medic's best friend, because syringes suck ass. Like, I'm sorry, and like, I mean, I think most play when medics die, it's usually when after like a push, after like everyone else is dead and like medics running away, they usually chase the medic, or sometimes they'll ignore the other team and chase the medic. Sometimes you can go around the corner, get a melee, get a crit in, or a spy comes up to them and he turns around, he can crit him. That's if you remove crits, medic becomes a lot harder to play. Well, not a lot harder, but it does come harder to play. That is true. I don't think it really matters that much, though. I don't think it's like a big point one way or the other.
I agree. I think we can trek on.
Huge 25% Uber charge. The slower swing speed doesn't even matter at this point, because you only need to swing it once most of the time. And some might even argue that random crits prevent the medic from fully taking advantage.
Yeah, like even without random crits, the Ubersaw would be like
the
already
regardless.
Yeah, the random crits are not what make the Ubersaw good.
Advantage of the Uber gain on hit, because you often tend to kill your targets when you would have been better off keeping them.
It can be too good and not necessarily broken.
I think it shouldn't be changed, but it basically invalidates every other like option, which is
I mean, like when you start, the bone cell still has a good purpose, because like when you start playing medic, you learn that way that like, oh, I'm not an offensive class at all. I just stick to healing mainly.
Yeah, it's
and
good.
It does teach you that along with the.
Yeah. It's not good in the sense that it's like effective. It's good in the sense that it teaches you not to use it.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
It's one of those. It's like a do not use me weapon.
Yeah, it's like use me and you will instantly die. Please do not.
Alive for a second swing and twice the Uber. And that's just one example of random crits ruining what could be an interesting way to use melee weapons, but instead,
this helps create those rare high moments.
If you don't like random crits so much,
I'm sorry.
The most out of place spy. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, like, what are you doing there?
Dog ass spy.
Like, if you hadn't told me that was a random crit, you could have died to literally anything just now, and I would have believed you.
It could have been completely fair, like depending on the knife he had as well. It could have just not been a random crit.
Yeah.
Why don't you just go play competitive mode then?
Well, that's because I like casual
People
mode.
do say that a lot.
I like competitive mode a lot, and
comp in this game is shit.
If you do want a more competitive experience in TF2,
Uncle Topia is here.
Uncle Topia,
well, yeah, but Uncle Topia,
TF2 Center. You should look for other places.
Uncle Topia resulted from this video, so it's not a good argument against this video specifically. But no, I think that the argument of if you don't like random crits, why don't you go play a place that doesn't have them, I think is a perfectly fine argument, unironically. Not competitive mode. God, I would never wish that on my worst enemy. But anywhere else,
There are good places to go. TF2 Center,
especially now.
Loads of community servers.
If someone's gonna say like, oh, random crits break stalemates, and he's gonna be like, well, not anymore. The game's developed. Then I can also say, you have way more this argument has become stronger since this video came out, right? Because there's so many more places you can go to avoid random crits than you could when this video came out.
And it's like, I don't think, is there anyone who really hates random crits that much that just wouldn't play a lobby that has them in there? Like, it's not like that
Definitely.
big of a deal.
No, yeah, there's.
A lot of
I know there are a lot of different people who definitely feel that strongly.
I don't get why you would feel that strongly, but I mean, if you really do, there are places to go. Obviously,
Yeah, there's.
If you want a more, it's just like if you want a more competitive experience or not. Like if you want, because like there's not just like casual mode isn't a very competitive mode. Like, it is, but it's like not at the same time. It has a lot of flaws, but there are places.
So the time at the which the video came out, like there was not. I think that was the main problem. After that, Uncle Topia happened. Creators.tf also happened a bit later. I think that was like when was that? Like 20. Yeah.
No, that was a good.
Womp womp now,
that was a good.
It had a good run. It had a good run.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other servers appeared. Before that, your only option was go into Valve matchmaking comp and like die, or no, that was even later. That was even later. That was worse as well. That was still competitive. Or you go on like a SkyL server that's 20 plugins, where you'll get like banned for playing too good.
Banned for playing too good.
No, that honestly, well, I've heard witness accounts that Skyle mods can be a bit loosey goosey with the bans.
All right, I see.
This is hearsay now. This is things that I've heard, so don't take.
Loosey goosey.
Skyle, don't sue me.
I've never seen those things, but I don't know. You know. I think that I think this argument's fine, and also I don't like casual as is anyways because of bots and issues. But yeah, I mean this argument might have made more sense when the video came out. It might have just aged poorly.
I'm just saying, it's like Uncle Dane. He really wants to have TF2 be a more competitive, like casual mode to be a bit more competitive, which is fair enough. But it's like, you know, random crits aren't the only problem, and like there's also like, you know, like class limits. The timers and some of the maps, but I think most people don't want class limits and like that on like some of the maps. You know what I mean? Like class limits, like I'd want to just, if I'm playing casual, I just want to play the fucking class I want to play. I don't want to like, you know, slot into whatever my team needs me to play all the time.
I mean, optimally we'd have like casual, and there'd be a box you could tick for casual with random crits on, casual with random crits off. You could just tick that box to queue into a different server, but that's not realistic.
I don't think there should be a box for random crits on, random crits off, like no build or for, like in like Fortnite.
Well, I mean, that's in other games.
That was a good idea. I think that would be like you could queue for like casual that it is now, or you could queue for like one that's like, it's not like competitive, but maybe it's like 6v6 or like 8v8 or like a smaller amount of players.
Yeah.
Stricter times, only certain maps, and like class limits. Like a more Uncle Topia type experience.
The queues are fracturing the player base enough as is.
Yeah, that's the only problem though. I don't think that
Welcome back, Indy. Fucking hell.
It's like I think that's why he made Uncle Topia. He was like, I want TF2 to be more like this, so he just made his own server. And
that's exactly what he said that.
Yes,
in his
he said that explicitly.
Well, I've not seen it.
Yeah.
So
Party doesn't watch Uncle Dane. He fucking hates Uncle Dane.
I don't hate Uncle Dane. When have I ever said that?
Guys, make sure everyone tweeted Uncle Dane. Party Pub TV hates you.
Stepped in front of a fucking.
I literally made a video like quote unquote jerked off TF2, sucked YouTubers' dicks for 30 minutes according to 4chan.
What?
That's what they said. Remember, they said I sucked off YouTube's dicks.
There's a method where you can reverse search your name in 4chan threads. Why you'd want to do that, I'll never fucking know. But we did it one afternoon, and it was
4chan does not like me.
Or me.
So
I don't like anyone.
Not like any of you.
The only people 4chan like is Shunik and Zesty Jesus for some reason.
It's a weird two people to choose.
Great.
Much as I can, but casual TF2 is fun for different reasons, and I don't think that I should be confined to one type of the game just because there's an antiquated mechanic that occasionally ruins it for me.
What? This argument surely works in reverse, right? I shouldn't have to play casual without a quote unquote antiquated mechanic that ruins it for you. Just because it ruins it for you doesn't mean it ruins it for me. This is right.
Yeah, it's like I think the reason removing them is so bad because it's just catering to, well, not really that would be bad because it's just catering to a certain type of people. When I think random crits on their own aren't a big deal for anyone. Do you know what I mean? Like even for the people who really don't like them, it's like they have places to go where if they really don't like them. But I think for most people, it doesn't really bother.
Yeah, but I think at the time of this video, okay, if you think back at the time of this video, there wasn't any Face It, there wasn't Uncle Topia. Like the servers you'd go on that didn't have random crits, most of the time they'd be kind of shitholes. They wouldn't be very populated. If you wanted a populated server, like you had to.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but you still have to keep in mind that people still link this video and parrot everything it says to this day as if it's like bulletproof arguments. I think pointing out that it didn't age well is good because it makes the video, like, lack of a better term, less credible.
I do think
there's a point coming up that really didn't age well.
Go on.
I just want to let it play until we get there. You guys will fucking you'll see what I mean.
Oh, okay.
But the non-self-centered reason is quite simple, because TF2's casual and competitive modes should be as similar as possible in order to make the transition from learning the ropes to testing your abilities as seamless as possible. This is actually why Meet Your Match introduced a lobbying system. This is why there's an MMR rating in both casual and competitive. This is why stopwatch mode was in casual for a week. Let's bring it back. The TF2 team.
Okay, this is a whole separate debate. I feel like if we get into this now, we will be on an extra hour because this was a whole. This spanned like 3 fucking videos between like a race 7 and who.
It was like a whole arc about this.
Yes, the idea that like casual and competitive should be as similar as possible is a baffling.
To competitive, which is weird because it's casual for a reason.
It's so strange.
TF2 a chat room with guns.
I don't feel strongly either way.
Guys, wouldn't you love it if they're only if Smash Brothers casual and competitive was the exact same? Like you couldn't like there was no such thing as
the last Smash game have a great matchmaking system.
It's like if you like invited to your friend's party and then everyone knows how to wave dash and you're just there getting killed.
Everyone's like multi-shining and you're there playing like Bowser and you're like, why is everyone killing me? I wanted to play the game.
What parties are you going to where you're playing fucking Super Smash Bros?
My birthday party. My birthday party.
Wave dashing is in Melee, so you'd have to.
In my house, you only play Brawl.
That's fair.
I rock up to a sesh and they're all sitting around the couch around like a CITV playing.
We only playing Super Smash Flash in the fucking canteen, alright?
Yes.
In my house, we only play Brawl and we only play sub-series. Like, we only play the story mode and nothing.
I'm not having any fucking Brawl. I'm not having any Brawl slander in this, you know.
Brawl is probably
hop on Subspace Emissary.
Brawl is probably
I love
the Smash.
Subspace Emissary.
Brawl is probably the Smash game where casual and competitive look the most similar.
Yeah, but like I think comparing casual mode to Brawl is like
except with the items.
That's not.
Yeah, except with the items, but
yeah.
Like if you watch 2 Ganondorf fighting in casual Brawl and competitive Brawl, it's like the same thing.
I don't know what any of it
I feel like with fighting games in general, like casual and competitive just look the same.
Yeah, they can be.
It's just people go hard in a different way.
Yeah, I just think this is stupid.
I just think TF2 has a chat room community aspect, and TF2 has a competitive side. And you know, sometimes I want to play TF2. I just want to chill. I want to have a nice time. I just want to talk and have a good time. Sometimes when I play TF2, I want to like, you know, play an actual game. You know what I mean? I don't. If you focus TF2 on being this competitive experience, you lose that like community aspect a lot, which is what draws a lot of people and keeps people playing to this day. Talking.
Absolutely.
Which is, you know.
Yeah. We can go over this part. This is a different thing.
Is slowly and surely attempting to bridge the gap between casual and competitive mode, something that I 100% support because I know, just like anyone who understands what makes modern online games successful, that having as little of a divide between sub-communities in your game is key to a flourishing player base. They did it in 2012 when TF2 had become free-to-play. Valve recognized that the pay-to-play business model was becoming outdated, so they tried something new, and it brought TF2 into the modern era. And I am very confident that 5 years from now, there will be an entire generation of TF2 players who will cite competitive mode as a reason why they started to play the game in the first place.
Oh, That's awful. Oh, that's
Well, we're 5 years from now.
Yes! Oh my
5 years from now, how do we feel about this?
Oh my god.
It's been 5 years.
Everybody
no.
just quote tweet him with that fucking.
Yes, someone please clip this part of the podcast.
clip
And
It would
just
be
so
really
we-
funny.
Please
just
clip this. I
Send
need.
it to him.
Yeah, what on earth? Why did he? Oh, why did he?
It's been 5 years.
Guys,
We're
this
still
is
here.
guys. This is
Where's these players you are talking about?
guys. This is a PSA. This is a PSA. Don't make arguments on the basis of things that have not happened yet, because you don't know how stupid you'll look when you say something like this, and it's not true. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is one of the worst things I've heard. This might be the worst point made in a video that we've covered so far.
I just think Uncle Dane just completely neglects the TF2 of chat room like philosophy.
I don't think he recognized how bad casual competitive was.
The thing is that even this whole argument that he's making here has no relevancy to like crits, because like I mean like none of us here, I'm pretty sure none of us here like want casual to be closer to competitive in the way that he's implying it to be.
No, not at all.
But like you know, like I'm sure like most of us would be happier if there were no crits, or like most of us can agree on the whole crit situation. But like that has like there's like if the game had no crits, it wouldn't necessarily make it more competitive.
Oh, this is I don't it would, but I don't know. I don't know if I would want to take the cost that it would.
Make it slightly more competitive, but
Slightly, yeah. I don't know if the benefit outweighs what I would.
If you want to make a casual competitive thing, it doesn't fix any of the problems. You have to add like fucking class limits and shit. And no one wants that.
Yeah.
No one wants class limits.
I just don't know why you would. Why would you ever? This is another one. This is from like earlier. Why would you ever say this?
If esport and competitive is the future, then why is Overwatch limping along right now?
Oh no!
Exactly. Why is Overwatch barely relevant? Except for like porn.
Why?
Why is that your first?
SFM crazy. SFM going crazy because of Overwatch.
Hey, not a shooter, but why is Brawlhalla still played if like competitive's the be all and all?
Oh, don't say that to Indy. Don't say that to Indy.
I love Brawlhalla.
Do you love it for its competitive merit?
I love Brawlhalla. I'm a Queen Knight.
Brawlhalla. I go as John Cena and I just win.
I think it is a fun party game. I would not call it competitive.
I used to be a diamond rank Queen Knight, so I'll fight you.
Oh, okay. Hey, maybe I was missing something.
MGE Brawlhalla, like
MGE Brawlhalla.
I played actually all the time when I was a kid.
Yeah. Anyways, we can just continue. Maybe he's on to something.
Just as there are tons of people who attribute
wait 5 years
TF2 becoming
for that.
free to play as the reason for them playing it today.
This is such
Right now, they just
the
need
false equivalency between free to play and competitive is baffling to me. But we don't have to get into it. I just
to add better for playing competitive mode, but that's a story for an entirely different video. Anyway, removing random crits would be eliminating one of the biggest differences between casual and competitive mode, and not only would it be a good thing for any of the reasons that I've already stated in this video, it would be good for the growth of TF2 as a game.
Hey, Ankle Danes.
Yeah?
I get it, right? You don't like RNG. I get it. You don't like freedom.
Nope.
You don't like fun.
I never said
But what
that.
about this? What if they just added a voting system for turning random crits on or off during casual mode games?
I thought this was supposed to be a fair opponent, but he's made of straw.
Yeah, he is made of straw.
That's nobody has ever suggested that, and that is a horrible idea.
That is a terrible idea. It's just
I don't think it's that bad an idea, but
don't
it's
think-
like
yeah.
it's not. It doesn't solve anything.
It's just gonna create an argument. Like it's just people will just like leave and go mental.
Yeah, imagine the
Yeah.
vote kicks happening. Like,
Well, I mean, that's more of an issue with the
all
vote
that
kicking
would
system.
happen is like, oh, people vote to like turn it off, and then half the match leaves, or people vote to turn
Well,
it
that's
on
a-
and half the match leaves because they don't want to play
that
that.
is literally the like next sentence he says.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And that's the
Yeah.
thing. I don't even think.
But
I don't
I
even know
don't-
if I agree that would. You would have. This is my thing. I think you'd have to try this. I don't think we could tell if the solution is good or bad until we try it, because I think that this could go It could go entirely how you just said, where like everyone leaves when their thing isn't voted for, Or it could go in the way of like, well, yeah, I guess random crits are on or off this time, and we don't really care, you know? Like, I think it could go either way.
It's like if there wasn't any data collected for this video, like at least we'd know like how many people are actually affected by it, so we'd be able to guess like, oh well, okay, this is how likely it'd be that people would just leave or not.
Certainly, this.
But like this is just
certainly this.
Either way, it's not a fix or a solution.
Certainly, this solution would have to hinge on data that has not been collected.
Exactly. My prediction what would happen if they actually added this system, and for about the first 2 months it would be like complete mayhem in like the lobbies, people leaving, throwing arms on vote because their vote didn't get choose. Then after a while people would forget the option even exists, and then the crits would just stay on anyway, and the problem wouldn't
what if the default what if the default was that they were off?
Then they would stay off.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think this is something you would have to try. I'm not even. I don't.
I think people would just forget the feature would even exist after a while. It wouldn't solve anything.
What if it was like right next to the map voting system? I don't know.
It's not a solution. I'm sorry. Well, it wouldn't work.
Okay.
I would be moderately okay with this compromise, but I personally don't think it would help. I think it would only increase the number of people leaving in the middle of games due to their preference not being voted for, and I honestly don't think that the issue of random crits can be half-assed here. I'm all for the remove them completely kind of solution and not a half-baked attempt at a middle ground. Plus, community servers that feature random crits would become more popular, which would help those communities gain more traction.
That works in both. You are proof. I know this video came out before Uncle Topia. He is proof that it works in both directions. Like, Uncletopia as a concept is proof that you could gain a community from random crits being turned off, so it's a non...
The servers are always full and expanding. There is a subset of players that like to play that way.
I think the Uncletopia, the way he went about like fixing the problem in the end was the
correct appropriate solution.
Yeah, I think that genuinely fixed this problem. I don't think this is really a discussion anymore. But, you know, people still do quote it, so we have to be like, no. Even though if you really don't want want to play random crits and you want a competitive, more like streamlined, team-based experience in TF2 that isn't full of wacky goofiness or like, you know, a stacking team classes, then you can just go play Uncletopia and play by those rules. But if you just want to play casual and just, you know, hop around, talk, kills, you want.
Azelle, out of curiosity, what do you think Uncle Dane's favorite Weezer album is?
Oh God,
I can answer that.
I mean, I'm not the Weezer expert in the room. There's more Weezer experts.
Party and I are Weezer.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I merely dabble in the Green Album.
I'm a Weezer apprentice. I'm higher.
No, you're not. You said white was bad.
I'm higher than Azelle, but I'm lower than you. So I haven't listened. I've listened to Blue, Pinkerton, Green, White.
Which you said was bad, so like everything you say.
I didn't say White was bad. I said it was fine.
Although Uncle Dane definitely listens to the Red album a lot.
He listens to the Red album because in the album cover he has a cowboy hat.
That's true. That's true. That's good argument.
But he does strike me as a Hurley guy, I'm gonna be real.
About MVM?
I personally wouldn't see a problem with keeping random crits enabled in a man versus machine because the mode is very much an alternative game mode, and the robots don't feel frustrated or upset when you hit them with a crocket. The only exchange in
MVM, I want the bots to have more of a chance. Like, fuck off.
Why?
Give the bots random crits.
Why was his point? Why was his point that they don't? Like, the reason why MVM can stay on is because the bots don't feel anything when you hit them with a random crit. Like, why was that the reason why?
How much does he...
We have no soul.
I'm just thinking, how much does he think... How big of an emotional response do crits give Uncle Dane if this is...
I was gonna say, that's what I was getting at. It's like, they don't have a literal heart attack and start seizing on the floor when they get crocketed. Like,
yeah.
Not like me,
How many keyboards has he gone
NPC
through dying for a random crit?
Is positive, which is why I think random crits in single-player co-op games are completely fine. And MVM is basically a single-player experience, especially when you get.
It is literally not. I know what he means, but it is literally not.
Cooperative game mode.
It's not a single player.
It is not single player.
I think
to
you're
our
just bad at
snipers.
What about random bullet spread?
Oh yeah, random bullet spread, the ugly cousin of random crits. A little lesser known to the average TF2 player, but still just
Okay,
as
this should be
pointless. In
turned
case you're
off.
not familiar, in casual mode, most scatterguns
Yeah.
and shotguns have random bullet spread, also
This
known
is
as
just, like,
bloom.
stupid.
This means that when you fire the shotgun, the pellets come out in a random pattern. So unless you are practically shoving the gun in someone's face, you will often do a random amount of damage
any
depending
rare
on where
high
the
moments
bullets
you're having a
land.
bad
With random
bullet
bullet
spread.
spread,
Random bullet spread is there for those rare high moments where you.
Don't get any rare high moments.
You get rare. You
love
don't get
that.
rare high moments. You get
Rare low
frequent low
moments.
moments. like-
rare moments.
Either the gun does what it's supposed to do, or you it doesn't, and you are pissed. Like, you know what I mean?
That's all that happens.
disabled
they should
standard
add
competitive
gun
mode.
jamming to the game.
I agree. They should add a mechanic where occasionally the gun, like Looney Tunes style, turns around and hits you in the face.
He's
And
iron.
it's just instantly killed.
That would be wacky and
They
silly.
should
That
add
would
a mechanic where I can put my finger in my opponent's barrel.
They should add an opponent. They should add a fucking. They should add a feature where I can stick my finger in the opponent. I just. That's what I thought of when I heard you say.
I can stick my finger in the
my
opponent.
finger-
You stick the
Let me
finger.
finger my opponent into TF2.
Why won't they let me play a Honey Pop style minigame against my opponent in TF2?
Oh my fuck! Like every time you shoot someone, it like pauses the game. You have to play like a puzzle mini game.
It removes every time you shoot someone. It removes their clothing.
Oh my
To get a
god.
random crate, you must
They
complete your
moan.
daily Wordle.
Sex update is real. Thank you, chat.
Shut up.
The bullets come out in a fixed pattern, which means that it's much more consistent how much damage it will do at certain ranges. It's a small thing, but the reasoning behind disabling bloom on scatterguns and shotguns is practically the same for removing random crits. It raises the skill ceiling and makes individual situations that much less frustrating.
Let me ask you this. What would you do if they removed random crits from TF2?
I would be very happy, not only for
No
reasons
way.
pertaining to my own methods.
Now you guys have poisoned the well. Because now every time he makes an argument, I'm gonna picture him like dying to a random crit and slamming his keyboard, breaking all of the keys. Like I would be very happy. How lucky for me.
He gets hit by a random crit in
I would
real
be happy
life
because I
when
know-
he dies in the game.
I would be happy because I know
Why is it 2x speed?
Someone said in the chat that we should have random bullet spread because it makes the TF2 more realistic. Alright, okay.
That person's
TF2
correct.
should be.
TF2 should be more like fucking like modern warfare.
I think it would be more realistic if I could finger my opponent. in a
TF2
match.
would be so much better if you could prone, lean
Iron
left and
sight.
right.
That would be so
Iron
wild.
sight.
Aren't shotguns like accurate?
Follow
though?
sight,
Guys, why
scout.
can't I set up claymores in TF2?
Call an
Guys,
airstrike.
why does the
Heavy
medic
right
not
heel.
patch up his patients manually with
Yeah,
bandages?
Instead of a medi beam, the medic should like realistically like bandage up wounds and like sew them together.
Like doing surgery. You just stay in
He,
spawn
He like
and you
sprays
do surgery on people.
disinfectant.
Open surgeon simulator mid-match to fix
If-
someone's bullet wound.
If you get shot in the leg, you're just crippled for the rest of the match.
Yeah.
Not
you
yet.
get
Medic doesn't
home
actually
and you-
heal you. He just makes you live a little longer. That's it.
We're getting dangerously
if
close.
you-
Sorry, there you go.
If you get shot in the if you get shot in the middle of a match, you get sent home with a purple heart, and the rest of the match is just like you sitting on a plane, looking out the window, flying home.
All of you guys, you hear all of the screams of your allies because you have like PTSD in game.
Yeah.
I think
Every-
the closer TF2 is to War Thunder, the better it will be as a video game.
Shut up! They're not paying you to say this, you little fucking sellout.
Hey, wait, wait, they're
Hey,
paying
guys,
me,
I'm
guys.
still
Go,
being-
everyone, go download War Thunder.
I-
Use my link. Thank you.
Guys, I have a referral link at
He
War
actually
Thunder.
does. He actually does.
I actually do.
I also
So
wait.
I
I
don't
actually
know
also
that.
do.
That's why
Hold
he's
on.
such a little.
Wait, I have to go grab.
You guys gotta
talk
collab
about-
on a
It has
War
over
Thunder.
200 vehicles, Sam. All right.
300,000 concurrent players, Sam.
Exactly.
Hold on,
On
guys.
the daily
If
weekend.
I talk about how they always get like government documents leaked, will that like make you lose your thing?
It's probably
The
not. This,
documents, the Dust Bowl.
No, the War Thunder's forums always. leak, like,
It
government
won't as long as you don't
documents.
endorse it.
everything
Okay,
that everyone's
guys,
about to say is wrong.
Let's start leaking government documents. This is endorsed by Indie.
No, it's not. This is untrue.
This is why Sam, you will never be sponsored.
Guys,
Oh,
don't look
I
at my
know.
Twitter. Ignore that. Okay, there we go. I put my Twitter on screen, guys. Don't look at that. Yeah, let's get started.
I'll show your bookmarks.
Know that beneficial for everyone. It would help the new players get better at TF2 in a way that actually makes sense. It would reward the veteran players who play intelligently. It would bridge the gap between casual and
You're so
competitive, which
intelligent.
will contribute to the longevity of TF2 overall. Maybe the only negative result that could come from removing random crits would be that blood pressure medication sales would drop, but in the end...
My man's okay now. No, okay now the meme's becoming real. Dude got really mad and made a video.
His blood pressure medication. You know,
He
he
needs
can't
to stop
afford it
spending
anymore,
money.
so they have to remove random crits.
He needs to stop spending money on his blood pressure medication.
It's a net. So if you found this video informative and has either convinced you or reassured your existing belief that random crits have to go, please share this video, or at least the message behind it. The TF team listens to this community, even if the
Yeah.
response is very slow.
Okay,
Things do
but-
happen.
That was a really funny year to
That was a
post
really
that.
funny thing. Yeah. How fun?
That was a good joke. Nice one.
How wonderful. How lucky for you.
Ask for it. And despite the fact that Valve being at the cutting edge of modern gaming is more in the past than in the present, the ability gaming communities have to change the game that they play is undeniable, and we should use it. So send Valve an email, make a post on your message board of choice, speak out about what you think about random crits, whether you agree with me or not.
yeah.
The TF2 dev team wants to know. I'm sure of this because they straight up asked us a few months ago in an in-game survey.
they're
And
still
if we know
asking.
anything about
I always filled those out. I never. always filled those out.
How does it feel to waste time?
No, I feel like a valued contributing member of society whenever I put in good versus great.
Wonderful. I'm so proud of you.
reactions, it's that they like to throw little things at us to start a conversation, and if those conversations
to
aren't
throw
made
nothing
public,
at us.
then things will take even
Harass
longer. Just remember, if you think that the one good reason for keeping
Shut
rent
up, man. That annoys me so much.
Hey, I wanna throw something out. Actually,
This screenshot just pisses me off. Like he doesn't even take the other side.
Yeah, no,
seriously.
this is horribly
Yeah, it just completely diminishes like people who actually like random crits.
There are real.
It doesn't even
real
show like
people who
any
discuss
proper
it.
arguments for it.
It is an actual discussion that does more. That is a serious discussion. It's not just a joke. You know what I mean? It's not just like, oh, ha ha ha, guys. Oh yeah, they like random crits. They must be stupid and epic and awesome gamer rage. It's like no. It's like people like the game how it is. I don't. You know what I mean?
yeah.
People just like to play casual. You know, not everyone wants to have a scientifically like mathed out mechanical competitive experience. People like TF2 for TF2. They like it the way it is. You know what I mean? It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's not perfect how it is now, but, you know, it has the potential to be perfect if they just fix the fucking bot problem and, you know, do each other shit.
I don't think some of these things are correct, but I think we've already gone over them earlier in this discussion, so we can probably
as we
move on.
went on.
I wish he did an
crits,
actual,
that
like,
they're
roast.
cool
I
and
wish he,
make me
like,
feel
actually,
epic
like,
is
played
more
up
valid
with
than
it
the
just rubbing it off, like brushing it aside, like it's just like taking the piss out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, create a discussion, not like epically own random crit enjoyers.
Epically owned. I love
Yes.
epically owning people.
Sorry
who
for
disagree
being
with me.
so spotty throughout this thing. I should be fully in this now. Something was coming up, and now it's okay.
No worries. It is all good. We have had plenty of things to say. It is all
Without you.
good. No, that's not what I mean.
All right, let's
multiple
just
counter
keep
arguments to a
playing.
number of less subjective pro
Andy,
random
doesn't
crit
this
points.
piss you
Just
off?
keep in
It's a
mind
fucking
that
thing.
cocaine is pretty
It's
cool
like a
and makes you
definition
feel
of a
epic,
straw man.
but cocaine is
Literally,
not
doesn't
good
even
for you.
give the other like side a chance.
So we just got a false. So guys, we just got a false equivalency between random crits and cocaine. Any thoughts?
This is
Okay,
true.
I don't think-
done
I
many
just-
cocaine.
It's just I don't think there's any point. It's just a joke. Like I don't think.
Nothing
there's-
wrong.
Yeah, I don't think we have to. I just
Nothing wrong with me.
This is true, and in fact, a lot of people should take
Don't
cocaine.
do cocaine.
Okay,
No, do it. I
And then
encourage
the
it.
Geometry dash dubstep comes in.
we are done. We have made it, guys. What are our
Yeah,
takeaways?
woo!
We have done it. It took us 2
Yeah,
hours and
finally.
46 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there were.
Any final thoughts?
I think there
Thoughts
were
to
one
wrap
and a
this up?
half good points made in the video.
I think it was a good video overall. I just wish that he takes the other side a bit more seriously. Do you know what I mean? I do think there is a genuine discussion here.
I think that there is a genuine discussion, and he's not interested in having it. That's my takeaway.
Exactly.
With a lot of Uncle Dane videos, for better or for worse, he just says, "I am correct," and that is it.
Yeah.
I am automatically correct.
It's his opinion, so it's like it's fine. And I think at the time this video was a lot better. I think now it's aged quite poorly because you have things like Uncle and like actual alternatives for people who.
I think it wasn't really much for future proofing like that. I do think the video is still quite good, and like the thing about he doesn't care about the other side, I disagree with. He could have used more evidence from the other side, like to prove that these were actually the opinions that he was seeing. But other than that, like I've seen those opinions from the pro crit side, and like, you know, they're not far off what he presented in the video. So I think it's just a matter of he needed to just show a bit more evidence and also future proof a bit. But like, you know, that's a difficult thing to do.
I just think I just wish he gave more sides to like how people actually feel. Maybe interviewed people, talked with people who like random crits, why they like them, and present their arguments more seriously instead of just having a goofy scout be like, "Oh, because they're epic and awesome, and there's no good reasons because I'm right and I'm Uncle Dane and I'm smart."
Well, yeah,
I think that would have been a better way of doing it.
Well, this is really interesting for me to watch because this is not to make it about me, but I recently released a video that was. Didn't have the same point as this video, but it was about the TF2 art style stuff, and it was the goal of the video was to portray both sides, and I was accused by many people of being biased. I gave my biases at the end of the video, and it was fascinating to see this comparatively because I make some mistakes in the video that I made where. I'm more willing to say that at least he was honest and he was like, yes, I want to prove this. Therefore, I'm going. These are the arguments I've heard. This is why I feel that they're wrong. I wish he hadn't said that they're 100% science. I wish he hadn't said that the other side was basically stupid by the end of it. I think that it's interesting watching this video when. I think a lot more care could have been taken to make sure that other people believe the things that he's saying that they do, and also just using like science or data or some greater form of like, oh, this is why this isn't true, rather than just saying, well, I've talked to people and I don't find this statement to be true when I play the game, so therefore this isn't correct. I think greater care could have been taken to make sure that his points were more solid. That's my thought.
Yeah, I think his opinion is a fine opinion to have. It's just that like I just wish he like gave more like, you know, courtesy to the other side of the argument. I think that would have been. I think that's the main thing I wish he would have done in that video. But again, it's an old video. You know, I feel like if he did it now, he maybe would have probably done that. It's still a lot to learn from. I think at the time it's like it was a lot more relevant. But now like random crit haters. Quote unquote. I know apparently they're out there, have a place to go, have something to do, you know. So it's like I don't think this issue is as bad as people like tend to make it out to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, random crits ruin TF2. Like no, they don't. Like, honestly, if you really hate them, go play Uncle Topia.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear. We covered a different Uncle Dane video in the first episode of this podcast, about where he was talking about like it was in his hot takes video. He's talking about irresponsible YouTubers. And he said like, oh, the TF2 art style conversation, the team recognition conversation is boring, and like we're only talking about it because people don't care about, you know, team recognition. We're only talking about it because we don't have updates, right? And to hear him say I think the people who talk about those things like Funk and Zesty, I think that, well, I know Zesty is because I've talked to him, but I think that Funk is was genuinely passionate about it. And I think that it's interesting to see Dane be so passionate about a subject that he finds, you know, it matters to him. When I heard him say, like, literally just a couple weeks ago, like, he dunked on someone else for being as passionate as he was about a different subject. My point with saying all of this is like to talk about things, have conversations, discuss things. They don't even have to necessarily matter as much to the other person that you're talking to as they do to you. You know, if they're worth discussing to you, discuss them with people. That's my thing.
Yeah, I mean, if Soundsmith get, okay, I'm gonna.
The hate boners, fucking.
We don't hate Soundsmith. We just don't
I
necessarily.
love Soundsmith, really.
I
don't
love
hate him.
Hey, guys,
Yeah,
guys.
for Soundsmith has just become a bit in our group for some reason.
I feel like I need to explain that now. It's just.
Yeah, because the whole time we've just been going like Soundsmith monthly meatloaf, like
We've gotten this bit where
it's a bit for us.
when we play like TF2, some like funny happens and one of us just shouts, "Yet another ingredient for the meatloaf!" It's like, shut up.
Dude, random crits are such a war pig.
Thanks, Awoogie.
Someone in chat said soy smith.
Man, I guys, I'd like to let you all know Soundsmith was the primary creator that got me playing TF2.
Good to know, mate.
Same.
Yeah.
Unironically, same.
Yeah, it's you can't deny the man's influence.
Yeah, but he like.
For me, it was Meet the Heavy.
That's a good introduction. My introduction to TF2 was actually Fawful's Minions videos about them and about TF2, his countdowns. I don't know if anyone knows who that is in chat.
Oh, yeah, like top 9 classes.
Yeah. That was my introduction to the game. But what got me playing the game was Soundsmith.
My first TF2 was my friend. She had a little brother, and she invited me to play on trade Minecraft, and I played that for like 6 hours that day, and I just kept going on it every day.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy
Oh,
for you.
the start of a violent addiction.
Now
Yeah.
I'm here.
And we wouldn't be here if it weren't for Soundsmith. Can we all give a Soundsmith a round of applause?
Wait, can you do the soundboard?
I wish I had a soundboard now.
No!
Not that one. No!
Get the chuckle nuts fan out of chat. Fucking sound. Don't you be playing that buzzword.
No, we're not getting into soundboards now.
All right.
All right. No more soundboard.
No more soundboards.
Yeah, I think that is all. I think that's all we got for the podcast
No,
today.
we have one more thing to say, guys.
One more Uncle Dane video, guys. Come on.
No.
Shut up. Right, last thing to say, subscribe to Not Sam G, get me to 15.
No. So,
yeah.
what I'm noticing here,
Questions.
what I'm noticing here is an opportunity for myself. I'm seeing 65 people in this live stream who are itching for more TF2 podcasting. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, this Swishcast, we have 28 episodes. We've been going for a year. I mean, I'm not insinuating anything, but I'm just saying, if you go to @TF2 Club on YouTube /streams, I mean, I don't know what you'll find, but you'll find some. That's all I'm saying.
I'm saying if you really want to see a TF2 podcast, there's this one.
If you want to read
TF Talk.
No.
With a not so nice man.
the worst TF2 podcast.
I'm sorry, it's a disaster.
But yeah, go.
Hey, we're not on Swishcast anymore. You can't be saying that.
I do appreciate all you guys for coming on. It was wonderful. I hope you guys had a good time.
We'll be returning the favor.
Yeah, it was great.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah. Also, you guys, if you ever want to come on again, you guys are always welcome. We don't like any of you. You guys don't all have to come on at once if you don't want to. But I really want to do a thing.
We're a package deal.
That's also okay. Either one, right? We're always glad to have guests on, especially to talk about things. I really want to do a stream where we don't do that here. I really want to have a stream where I get like 10 of you And by you, I mean like them, like the TF2bers, like that.
Those people.
Yeah, those people. I want to get like 10 guests to get on, and we like watch like some ridiculous amount of content, like all of the. We watch all of. We watch. We watch like all of the Soundsmith.
You do like a stream marathon, like going through a bunch of content.
Upon further review, X Swishcast, X Chucklenuts, X TF Talk, X Crits Cast,
X Mount Soundsmith. We yeah.
He's there. Hey guys.
But yeah.
Can we get Serious Martin in there?
Yeah, probably. We could probably fit him in.
Bring him back.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Bring back Serious Martin.
All right, nobody gets half these references. Like most of these people are going.
Which is why they should listen to Swishcast, the
That's
world's
so
greatest TF2
No,
podcast.
because we don't explain it either there.
Yeah, we don't explain it there. Like,
Yeah.
They should make a TF2 podcast.
But you're more educated.
They should make a TF2 podcast with Mecharek, Rob the Awesome, and the Scrap.tf mods and call it Groomcast.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me, Bacon. We gotta go through we gotta go through a couple of dono messages real quick. I'm gonna ignore whatever Party said, because I don't know the implications of that statement. Shut up.
It would be so awesome.
Donation messages.
Awoogie said, terrible opinion. I am outraged. I'm not sure which opinion Awoogie was referring to, but I'm going to assume it was all of us.
Awoogie is my biggest fan. I love him. I love Awoogie. He is mine.
Well, he thinks your opinion's terrible.
Oh, God.
And
betrayed once again.
And Indy, and so thank you for the two euros.
Bam!
And then yeah, thank you. Thanks Indy for asking if we could kill me.
Can we kill this
Weren't you
guy?
glad that I didn't die, Indy? That I stayed. I contributed. Okay.
You know. Now that we can keep you around.
Yes, I've proven my worth to my own podcast.
I've changed my mind on this guy.
He can stay. Yeah, no. But yeah, thank you guys for donating. I really appreciate it. With that, I think we can end at like 3 hours. I think 3 hours is sufficient. I have to go Christmas shop for my nephew, so I have to go anyways.
Oh man, I really wish there were 28 more TF2 podcast episodes I can watch right now.
Oh wait, not Sam G. It's for www.com/watch not Sam G.
I really wish I had more money.
But I wanna point out, this is the last shill I'm gonna do. If you like something like this, we did a 2-hour-long podcast where we dissect one of German Peter's videos frame by frame.
That is true.
That is probably true.
That's a great one. It's called How to Not Make a Video.
Go look at the Zenith one. That's my favorite episode.
Oh, that's a great
Guys,
one.
patreon.com/Zenith.
Patreon.com/Zenith, guys, if you want to chip in.
But yeah,
Just a great cause.
Remember, guys, 5 years from now, there will be a generation of TF2 players who look back on competitive as what got them into TF2. Okay.
5 years from
If we
now,
also make
generation...
videos in 5 years, can we just like do another pod and we just check another like crits controversy video of Uncle Dane or something?
I agree. It would be fun. It'd be a good tradition.
Years, there will be a generation of TF2 players who can proudly say that Lucid Letters got them into TF2.
Man,
it's true.
Bringing a tear to my eye.
That might be true.
That would be actually a horrible contribution if that's like all I'm remembered by. That'd be sad.
So stay tuned to Grimcast. We're going to be starting it up.
Cashew has a good idea. He says, say our TF2 predictions for the next 5 years.
There will be one update, and it will be the official last update at some point in the next 5 years. That's
Mamo was right.
It's never gonna get another update.
Nope. I'm betting on one more. One more. The TF2 community is gonna go when Valve's gonna be like, I mean, I guess, and then they're gonna do it.
Mate, they've been going wow for the past fucking 7 years.
Yeah, but like
They
you,
haven't
it's like a baby on a plane. At one point, you have to say "shut up" to the baby, right?
At one point, you throw the fucking baby out the window. That's what you do.
That also.
Like,
Okay, wait. Okay, well, I'll amend my
You
prediction.
do that on the plane, the whole plane gets sucked out.
No, no.
Actually,
Well,
shut up.
No,
Azal.
no.
In 5 years.
I gotta amend my prediction. Okay, let's either an
bit where he fills out the plane.
either an update happens or the servers get shut down in the next 5 years. There we go.
I like the idea of hashtag save TF2 again.